I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm coming. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Hey, Tina Belina. Hey, DJ Nice. Hey, Just Teresa. Today, guys, we're going to talk. Today, we are going to talk. We're just going to wait for some more people to get in the room. We're just going to wait for some more people to get in the room. It's glad to see all you guys here. We're just going to wait till some more people come in the room and enjoy the music. How was your birthday? How was your birthday, Teresa? And if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button for your sister. Hey, Miss Rhonda! Oh, she's better and she's back. This is the other queen, Tina Belina. This is the other queen. I told you I've been speaking upon her. I said she hasn't been feeling well. Honey, make sure y'all connect. She is, oh my goodness, it looks so good to see you back, girl. It's so glad to see you back. It's glad to see you back, girl. Huh? And I keep telling you, Miss Rada and Miss K Money. I'm telling you, a lot of people started out in their rooms. This not growing today. We're gonna talk. I'm just gonna see how many more people come up in here. But they the ones helped a lot. Your birthday was beautiful. Got time off from work. So that's so loving it. Oh, because last time you was like your husband was at work. Thank you for sharing this video. If you're able to share this video, please share this video. I would gladly appreciate it. Gladly appreciate it. You guys are showing up and showing out. Showing up and showing out. How you doing, Frank G? How you doing, my brother? I dropped something. I don't know what I dropped. Something fell. Today's topic is, where are our OGs? Or did we drop the ball? Did we drop the ball? Did we ever have the ball to drop is the question. The question is, did we drop the ball, or did we ever have the ball to drop? As you see, the youth of today, we keep going back to our youth, talking about how we were raised. And we were like, these young kids are out of control. How did they get there? How did we 90s babies, did we 70s babies drop the ball? Or is it every generation somewhere down the line drop the ball? Is it every generation drop the ball? So every time somebody got the ball, one generation got the ball, they dropped it. So then when the next one picked it up, it was never given to him. He just picked up the ball the best way he could. Is that what happened? Is that what's going on today with our youth? What went down with us? Yeah, I think every generation dropped the ball and the next generation picked it up the best way they could. So if the ball was given to you, you would have got it with instructions and you would have known what to do with that ball. So depending on what your background is, everybody has a background, everybody has an ethnicity. So this is not just for Black, this is for all. I only could speak upon me being a Black sister. Everybody could speak upon, or they could fill in their own background. So if I speak upon being a Black person or Black problems, you can fill in yours with whatever culture you're from. We all have to speak from our experience. We all have to speak from our experience. So far as Black people, we had a ball. We came here, we never had the ball to drop. We never had the ball to drop. So when we got the ball that was given to us, and then a lot of people, being that it was the ball that was given to us, that made us not have a head start of how we raised our families. That's why a lot of us till today, 400 years later, every generation had a ball they gave. So when we first got here off them ships, we never had a ball. We didn't have a language. We didn't have a culture. We had nothing to pass down. Only thing we had is what we remember. Certain things we remember, like a lot of us was probably doctors, so they knew what plants did this, what ointment did that, how to make these tinctures. So they knew how to, they bought that here. Hey, Trey, we so cray. We definitely enable our kids growing up. That's why there are so many adult kids still living at home. Yes, they call the Peter Pan syndrome. But you got to remember, we are a group of people who never had a ball. In the even when we were set free, what we didn't know what to do from everything that happened to us during slavery. What things did we learn from slavery? First of all, we learned a whole new language. We learned the language that was not ours. Secondly, we learned to eat foods that our bodies wasn't accustomed to eating. Our bodies was not accustomed to eating certain foods. Certain foods we ate back in different parts of what they call Africa. It's called Africa because that's the name they gave it. But it was different nations in different regions. It was not called Africa. But we're going to just say Africa just so you get an idea. So for the place that they so-called call Africa, we didn't have so now our body has now changed. It has gotten to shock. So now we start getting sick because these foods that we're eating, my great-grandmama raised me. Thank God for it. Yeah. But even her generation, see, every generation, because see, the 50s and the 60s generations, they was full of a lot of secrets. A lot of secrets that was passed down to the kids in the 70s. You know, they would have these secrets of, number one, shotgun weddings where they didn't even love one another. See, every generation had their own set of reasons why the ball was dropped. So, like I said, far as with Black people, we have no language. We don't know what our body does not know what it's eating because we're not accustomed to it. So we got language, we got dietary, and then now we have climate. Our body wasn't used to the cold weather. So now we're not getting the efficient vitamin D that we used to get from the sun. And that was the reason why in the South we was able to work in the sun because we got energy from the sun. And then on top of that, all the beatings, the lynchings, the walking with your head held down. So we never had a family structure. We tried. After we fathers, men was made to be brought up as stallions or bucked. So even from then, even from slavery, they had kids everywhere. That's where they get the word stud from. They had kids everywhere. When they wanted to produce more kids, because they wanted younger kids labor. How you doing, Local Grow Show? Thank you for coming in. So they had all these, so these women and men, they made, yes, the sun people. Yes, Miss Rod. So now you got people who don't even know each other. They're just made to they just put together to make babies. That's it. So no love was there. So now these women had to carry these babies, and then the babies were sold. They didn't see the father no more, and then they had to take care of their master's baby. So we never even had connections to our own children. Again, where is the ball at? No culture, not the same language. And then on top of that, we're eating foods that our bodies are not used to eating. And then now we're being whipped and beat, and then we're being taught to be put against one another. Again, we never had the ball. So now we're not going to get all into that. We're just talking about the ball. We're not really getting into the history. I'm just saying, did we drop the ball? Did we drop the ball, or we never had the ball to drop? Because even after slavery was over, we didn't know what to do. What was it? We free. Now what? We got a bunch of uneducated people who is living off their wits. Hey, underrated darkness, I'm glad you made it. So now we got a bunch of uneducated people who's making it happen. That's why, even till today, we have a lot of uneducated people that's still making it happen because it's in our genes. You may want to call them ghetto, you may want to call them names, but in reality, it's in our genes. We make something out of nothing. Say what you want about them ghetto girls, they make something out of nothing. They are still surviving. They was not the ones that was a house slave, so they was not taught manners. They wasn't taught how to act in front of the master, his company, and all of that other stuff. But they also the ones that were being the most that were raped. Well, taken advantage of. Scratch that. I don't know if YouTube like that. But they are the ones who was the ones that was mainly being taken advantage of and bearing their master children. So either way, we didn't have it good. So they may have picked up a little bit more manners and maybe learned how to read a book or learned with a letter. As far as the field slaves, they still made it happen. But either way, either or had connections with them. They never still did not have families. They still did not have families. And can you imagine being a man and you having a wife? That's your wife. And but when that master wanted your wife, you could not do nothing about it. Is that still sort of kind of what goes on today? When your man was whipped and beat, and you sat up there and you had to watch your man. We always had to watch the worst in each other. We always had to watch the worst or see the worst with our counterparts. So the black man watched us get degraded, and then the black woman watched the black man get degraded. Again, we never had the ball. We never had the ball. Again, what lessons are we teaching? We didn't have no culture. So we had to learn as we went along. Is that the same thing that's happening today? Are we learning as we go along? So that's why it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. So then you had the thing with the slavery. Now slavery is over. Now they're hitting hard times. So now what comes into the picture? Alcohol. So now everybody's drinking a lot. Now a lot of these men and women become drunks. They making their music. They in them shacks. They shacking up because they live in so much poverty. A lot of them, like I said, they came out of slavery uneducated. So again, they had nothing to teach their kids. Is that still what's going on today? Only difference is now you can get educated, but are you truly being educated? Are our kids really truly being educated? That's like now people's talking about Juneteenth. This happened 400 years ago, and you're now talking about Juneteenth. Are you serious? Everybody wants to celebrate Juneteenth. How did you not know about Juneteenth? That was over 400 years ago. You know, so are we truly being educated? Is what the education that we're learning is strategically taught to us. It's strategically taught to us. You have to go out there and learn your own information. Again, throughout all of this, where are the black families? Because you don't, a lot of these women stuck with these kids, they move the men around. So now these men and women don't have no love bond. And then the mother took care of everybody else's kids besides hers. She never learned how to bond with her own kids. She never had the chance to have her child suck on her chest. She had to have the other baby, the master's child. So she bonded more with the master's child than her own. How are you? Back to the basics. Thank you for coming in. I'm sorry I have not seen you when you popped in. So again, Our bond is still not with each other. Is that sort of kind of what's still going on today? We still don't have a bond. And a lot of times people say, well, my grandmother and grandfather, they generations have problems too. A lot of them were shotgun weddings. A lot of them, our grandparents, the 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 30s and 40s is when, you know, is when it was still kind of bad. We were still getting beat. We still didn't have no rights. But when we got down to the 50s and the 60s, that's where all the secrets was. That's where all the shotgun. That's when a lot of grandparents got together in the 50s and in the 60s. But it still wasn't no love. But back then, you had to marry that man's daughter. That's where they get shotgun wedding from. A lot of them stayed together just until them kids turned 18. That's why there's so many affairs, so many outside children, because they didn't love the one they was with. They just wanted to have they just wanted to do the thing and got caught out there. So they had to make that child a legitimate child. So again, when did we have the ball? Plus, Killer Mike changed his name to Mike. Whatever. You have a lot of people that do a lot of talking, but if you don't get to the root of the problem, how are you doing, O'Neal TV? If you do not get to the root of the problem, the root goes back to when we got off that shit. The root goes back. I'm sorry. We always felt sorry. All the degrading things that happened, we have learned to love our oppressor more than ourselves. And it's not like we wanted to. That's just how it was done. If you spent all day long with your oppressor's baby, you bonded with your oppressor's baby. When you had to have your child be quiet at all times, and then you had to beat that child because you didn't want the master to beat the child worse. So when you so how many of us got, thank you for sharing my video, O'Neal. How many of us always got beaten because we had to know how to act? Again, the father is not in the house. And don't get, like I said, stop thinking that we was all family orientated. No, we were not. Then alcoholism came into the picture. Drugs came into the picture. So now, when we was trying to become a family, that's why people always try to blame it on the welfare. Welfare was not here. The welfare was not set up for us. Please stop it. Stop it. My great-grandmother told me she was married off at the age of 14, exactly, to a man that was 30 years old, and she never knew him. Exchanged for cattle in Puerto Rico. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I said we never had the ball. That can go back. That we have to create a real. We have to now truly love. When you get with somebody now, you have to get with somebody. You got to be for real about it and try to create a bond. We did have some good people who truly loved one another, but back in them days, no, it was not. Stop it. So what? You seen grandma and grandpa? They probably didn't love each other. If you go back to the time when grandma and grandpa had their first kid. Go back and see, was the marriage before the kid? Go back and check how Calvin, stop. You and Ms. Rod back on the same day. What, both of y'all took off? My brother Calvin. Woo, woo. Hello, sugar love. It's the train. Hello in chat. My brother Calvin says hello to the whole chat. Ariel Williams, how are you doing? You know, crept in here and I didn't see you. How you doing? So again, we could sit back and go back and forth and say, hey, don't disrespect me. And no, we was always disrespected. We were disrespected, so we became disrespectful. You understand what I'm saying? We were so disrespected in front of each other that we became disrespectful to one another. We have became to not to love one another. they put it out like that. We have learned not to count on each other, because if we did, at any point in time and moment, somebody was going to be removed. So men, don't blame it on welfare. Men was being, they been was removed. They been was removed. And every time a man blame it on the welfare system and the Section 8 system, my question always is, if what you're saying is true, how did the next man get in your spot? See, we got to stop this blame game. We have to first learn how to respect ourselves and love ourselves, and then extend that to the man. You're not going to just, it's never going to just going to happen because you say so. We are the only group of people. Oh, it's okay. I know you there in spirit. Hey, Kaden. We are the only group of people that have not received any form of mental health. Mental health help for all the trauma. We're still living through the same exact trauma. And instead of people saying, hey, we living through this trauma, what we do? We got the high sedity people that think they all smart, but really you are a strategic learner. You learned what they wanted you to learn. Then you have the people that you want to call ghetto, but that comes from the people that was, when we were set free, had no education, but did what they had to do to feed their kids or to make ends meet. We gotta stop making it seem like it's the same exact thing. So now we get to the 70 babies, we were still respectful because we still got that whip. So we still was respectful, or we got that whip. We knew how to act because we got that whip. But then what came into place? What type of stuff started happening in the 70s? Now, once we got the ball rolling at the end of the 60s, what started happening at the end of the 60s into the 70s? We didn't even get to the 80s and 90s yet. But I am going to put the link. I'm going to invite somebody. If anybody would like to come in and tune in, but we are on the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We're not going past them 3 decades. Then we're going to move forward. Come on, come on. Copy, copy. This thing does what it want to do. Now it doesn't want to copy it. I can't seem to copy it. It's acting up. It's acting up. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, gotcha. Now I don't want to paste it. Unbelievable. Oh, there we go. my thing moving kind of slow. If anybody would like to get in on the conversation, what happened to our OGs? Because we still got some OGs that's out there. And that's the real purpose of this. The OGs that's out there, the young kids that's out there and don't understand. It's still some OGs that's out there. The OGs, the ones who, it's funny, but the OGs, the ones who came from the uneducated parents, the ones who got the whip and they passed that whip down, them the OGs that is the one that has a presence to them. The educated ones went off and left us. The educated ones went and left us. So you had the OGs that was about that. They was about that respect. Like if they got out of place, uncle stepped in, cousin stepped in, neighbor stepped in. But now when these kids see OGs doing that, they are confused. They are confused. They want to do all this internet clapping until that OG walk in the room. But we're going to get on that. But we want to get to what happened in the end of the 50s, 60s, and 70s that still kept us from holding the ball. So if anybody would like to come on in, share your thoughts, and share your thoughts. Let's make it happen. I'm going to put the invite again. How you doing, Diesel? Welcome, baby. Okay. The end of the 50s, 60s, TV changed. Music changed. So our lifestyle changed. Like before, when you used to watch TV, remember, there were two beds. They never showed. I think the Brady Bunch was the first show that had one bed. Rather than that, there was always two beds. So once they showed, so we like, well, dang, how they having these babies? There's two beds that's here, but you always would see two beds. Rock and roll came in, honey. Rock and roll came in. So now we got these drugs that came and started sneaking their way into the scene. So what once was a fake pure, it's all fake. They still was always doing the same thing, but what they projected out was fake, but it was pure. Like Leave It to Beaver and The Greatest Dads and The Greatest Family and Yes Dad and having a dinner all together. We all know that wasn't true, but that's what they projected, that fake life. So now we got the one bed that's put in there. So now mommy and dad, now people get to see a man and woman in the bed together. Now the kids, whoever's watching the TV show, was like, whoa. Then we got rock and roll. We had Little Richard come on into the scene with the Tutti Frutti. Let's get up and move that booty. Let's do this. So now you got Ray Charles and Little Richard. And then now you got all this music bumping. Then we got the rock and roll. So you went from dancing like arm's length to getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Now you add that with alcohol. So then you used to go to these little shacks. Because the woman, your old lady, you didn't want to marry anyway. But now because you had to stay with her, because you got kids with her, so now on Fridays, you want to get nobody booty working this night. So now you got these clubs, you got the Tutti Fruttis, you got now the world is spinning out of order. The world is spinning out of order. Then on top of that, we had even though we didn't have the Black Power movement, that was a movement for a little bit. But even in there, to counteract the Black Power, they brought in the movies that showed us as nothing but pimps and showed the women nothing but degrading women, and like Superfly and the Mac. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that in the alley. You know me, I'm your friend, I'm your pusher. So now they had most of our black men, when the black men was shown, they was shown as pushers. They was shown as pimps. They was shown as number runners. They was shown as them people sold the moonshine. So again, we never had the ball. We got the ball. We do get the ball that was given to us, but it's still not coming with no instructions. Every generation we get the ball, but the ball is not coming with no instructions. So now you start making up your own rules. Well, I got this ball. Nobody gave me instructions, so I'm gonna make up my own rules until I drop it. And then when the next person pick it up, there's no rules there. And there's nobody to enforce the rules. So we in the 70s. Now we got a lot of our family members are either drinking the alcohol, either doing the dope or the coke, or they became addicts. So now nobody's taking care of the kids. You got all the big cousins or the big older sisters and brothers. They're the ones that are taking care of the kids. Then now we got abuse. We got abuse because now all these things is making you abusive. Remember, we still never got mentally healed from slavery. We still never got killed. So all we know is anger and abuse. So you got to keep that in mind. So then we get out of that bind. And then the 70s come. So the 70s is kind of good. You know, we got the disco, but they still doing their cocaine and stuff. They still doing their drugs up in there. But throughout all that bad stuff that was going on, there was a rose that was growing out of that crack. It was a rose that was growing out of that cemented crack. And that was hip hop. That was hip hop. We went from doing it doo-wop, now we're doing it in a different way. We're calling it hip hop. So now hip hop was now created. So now you had all these people. Remember when hip hop first came out, it was influential. It was influential. They talked about real subjects, real issues. It wasn't all just hip hop heavy. If you're thinking it was just all party and dance and just bebop, then you don't know nothing about hip hop. Go please do some history. So now we got hip hop going on, and now it's catching on. So now all these cultures that we didn't have, we found culture now. So now we found the people that was in church, that was a culture you picked up. If you was a 5%er, that was a culture that you picked up. If you was a Israelite, that was a culture you picked up. If you was a Muslim, that was a culture you picked up. So now all that good stuff was going into your music. You know, people started changing their names to Wisdom, Born, Supreme. You know, they was saying knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you know, and they was dropping them jewels, baby. They was dropping them jewels. We saw at this point, we're not wearing all these gold chains and all this stuff that you see today. First of all, they wasn't making the money. They was getting robbed for their money anyway. But when they realized it was a money maker and the influence of hip hop, they bought in crack. So the 70s, the end of the 70s was going good. But that's when hip hop came out. End of the 70s, the early 80s. So we jamming. We getting all this knowledge. We getting all this knowledge. Even if we didn't want the knowledge. Even if we didn't want the knowledge, they was giving you the knowledge. If you were sitting on a bench, but if you're from New York, you understand what I'm talking about. If you're from New York, you will understand what I'm talking about. Even if you didn't want the knowledge was dropped on you. And if you didn't want to hear it, you still heard it when you played a record. Well, not a record. Yeah, when you played the record or the tape. So the people, again, who left, just like the slaves, who left uneducated, made something out of nothing. Do you notice the uneducated people keep making something out of nothing? Do you notice the uneducated people is the ones who keep making something out of nothing? Is that a trend or what? So the next time you see somebody that's ghetto or acting ghetto, think about before you call her name. See, she making something out of nothing. She just ain't doing it in the right way. But a lot of stuff was created not doing it in the right way until you learned how to do it in the right way. So, honey, so now we singing these songs. They dropping this knowledge. Then when you saw the person you wanted to, now I was like, I didn't want to hear about this knowledge stuff. Okay, now tell me about the knowledge. What did that line mean? So depending on what sector, like I said, if you was doing church or the 5%ers, because New York, it was the only place that was putting in that knowledge in the music. To get the real knowledge or the early knowledge, you have to go back to old hip hop. You're not going to get that knowledge now. So when they realized that the people that was not educated is now come to find out they're educated. But I thought they was dumb. Where did they get this knowledge from? I didn't know they can write a sentence. They writing a whole song, dropping this knowledge. We got to go make some phone calls. And that's when they bought crack into our neighborhood. Hey, Miss Rod. Yes, honey. Come on in. Come on in. My thing moving slow today, guys.
Hey, fam.
Come on. How you doing? I'm glad you're better.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. Diesel, Bozo, Kaden. Who else? I see a lot of you guys. I miss your name. Sorry. I'm scrolling up. Underrated Darkness, Trina, Belly, Frank, TV, Loyal Group Show, Tracy So Crazy. Brooklyn Does It Better. Hey, hey. Just Teresa. Be nice. I'm sending my love to all of you guys. Sending my love to all. Well, as far as you talked about dropping the ball, I don't know if we ever had the ball. And if we did, hey, Sugarfoot. And if we did, we didn't know what to do with the ball because our brains been, our brains have been, we've been brainwashed, so to speak. If that's okay to say, we've been brainwashed. And now that we're trying to get somewhere, we all have to pick up the ball and start making pass this ball around and make it work.
So,
hey, love me.
Think that,
I was saying hi to Love Me too. Hey. I know. I've been sick lately.
Yeah, her and Rico both got sick at the same time. But Rico's out the hospital now. I think that he said that yesterday. So I think he's getting a little bit. But he's back on YouTube though. He's just out the hospital, but he's back on YouTube.
Keep sending them prayers. Keep sending them prayers. Prayers work.
Yes, definitely. Now, do you think that the OGs that we do have, because we still do have some OGs, do you think that this young generation, as because you remember crack played the part that messed up the end of the 80s and the 90s babies. They have a crack in their system. Like these group of kids, they're now the lean kids. These are the Molly Percocet kids, but we got the crack babies. So the crack babies, because we dropped the ball in the 60s and the 70s, their parents did the dope. Yeah, we had from dope to cocaine, and then went to crack. Now we with the lean with the rock with you, lean with the rock with you. But we still had some good upstanding. How you doing, Carter's E? We still had some good upstanding ones that came from the parents that didn't play. So now these kids don't like, for instance, you have Master P, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's there for, regardless of what goes down in his private life, he's been there, but he's there for his kids. So now they have a TV show, Growing Up Hip Hop, right? So what happened is that instead of them, they did the show, instead of them learning from Master P and how he did train his kids, they didn't have an OG in their lives. Probably their mother did what their mother wanted to do. Their father did what their father wanted to do. Not saying that he came from a great family, because he did not come from a great family. He must have some good uncles or something that was like, listen, I'll bust you up. I'll cave that chest in. Don't play with me. You better have some respect for your elders. You better do this. You better do that. So now
my uncles were like that.
I
had good uncles. My uncles were like that.
Well, remember, a lot of times uncles doesn't mean biological knowledge. It doesn't mean blood. It just that male that was, how to say, take a village to raise a thing. But either way,
my uncle was blood.
So now they leave the show because they like, that's not what I came on the show for. So now you got 50 million videos stating that how Master P should mind his business, or Romeo could talk for himself, oh, he's a bully, and they turned against him. And I'm like, y'all totally missed what went down. He wasn't there as Romeo's father. He was there as a presence. See, these young kids, what's more powerful than a gun is a man with a presence. Yeah, was talking about Master P.
Not to mention he's the producer and the boss, him and Dash. But okay.
Yeah, but that wasn't his show. He was producer of the show, but it wasn't his show. Now they're going to produce their own show. But the thing is that you had all of them, everybody laughing and joking, but they didn't understand. Anytime Master P was around, look at any show you want to look at. Pick anyone, any reality show that you want to look at. I guarantee you something is always popping off. I guarantee you when you see Master P could be anywhere where things go. They made a pop off before he got there. They may pop off after he leaves. But they know with his OG presence, they knew how to act. And that's what's missing from today. Even Damon Dash, he sat up there. You could call Damon Dash what you want to call Damon Dash. But when they were sitting up there trying to get sympathy, he's like, nah, he don't play them sympathy cards. So he'd be a little bit more sensitive. No, he's like, no, this is real life. I'm going to teach you real life. But you notice they all know how to act like kids then. Now, these are the same kids that do what they do best now. They go on YouTube and say what they want, so that OG's up in their face. Then it's like cricket.
Because those type of men, those type of men demand respect. Their presence alone demands respect. These guys were killers. And they came up in the game, and they played the game, and they making the money. And they deserve respect because they're here. So why would you disrespect them?
Well, they can't. They try to, But I love how they tried to. But when they walk in that, like Jay Prince, something happened with that NBA boy. I don't know if y'all familiar with NBA young boy. Very disrespectful. Got 50 baby mamas. But he's the one that was dating at Ayanna Mayweather, Floyd Mayweather's daughter. Even after she got arrested for stabbing his girlfriend, the next day he went and was calling Floyd all types of names. That man didn't actually get caught no names, but you know he had to lay low. So now his stuff got stolen. So Jay Prince got his stuff back, or he took it. I don't know which one it is. So now he come back. Well, why you had to go on live and let people know you have my stuff back? Talking a lot of crap. But again, he missed the point. He missed the point. The people missed the point. Jay Prince was letting him know, little young boy, you can get touched. I am not the one to play with. Because he's very disrespectful young man. Same way when they was trying to go after Master P, he walked up in there. He let y'all know you can get touched. I am old school. So what happened to, like, it's like a few, but because the ball was dropped, we don't have that many more of people who know how to hold it down. But I'm just saying, what happened to, and then what happened to the big mamas? They got the OGs and the big mamas is fading away. Like, what happened to the big mamas and the OGs? There's still a few out there left, but what happened? What do you think happened to them that we're phasing out? And what do you think if we don't get some type of control back over these kids? How do you see the future, Ms. Pride?
What I think about the Big Mama effect is that Big Mama lost because Big Mama didn't have age. A lot of these children, people's grandparents, 23, 24, you know, they're young grandparents, 30, with grandkids, you know. They haven't they haven't stopped running the streets yet to learn to be a mother, let alone now become a grandmother. You know, they haven't installed, you know, old-fashioned ways into their children. So they can be, you know, be the grandma that can uplift the family anymore. That got lost in age.
So they like, nah. I could still drop it like it's hot too, huh?
Yeah. They want to be up in the clubs. They want to be up in the clubs with their daughters and dressing just as loose as their daughters and smoking pots with their sons and stuff. You know, that's not what it's all about.
I have to drink my tea.
Both of them pregnant, having babies, up in the club, smoking and drinking. Ah, man.
So if we don't get control, because we got a lot of these lean babies, so a lot of them gonna be coming out kind of slow. Like I seen a video the other day, could have been today. I was on Facebook, and I forgot who put the video there. But I've been seeing them videos a lot. But this one is sometimes it just makes you want to cry. Where you got the little girl, no more than like 4, the little boy, no more about 4. That had the music playing, and she was tick tock, backing it up, and he was pulling up, and she was backing it up. And did you see all the camcorders that came out?
And these are grown people watching these kids, these babies do this crap. This is what they learning at home. They're learning this crap from home.
That's them lean babies. That's them lean babies. That's the Molly Percocet babies.
The parents,
remember, they parents are the Molly Percocet babies, so they the ones having the 4 or 5-year-olds. So they kind of slow.
When they taking drugs and smoking, they don't even know, and they have babies. They don't know which nipple is discharging the impurities out of their body and which one produces the milk. So
Ooh.
they dumb. They giving them the wrong one. They giving them the one that's gonna get them high. Believe it or not, your body, the woman's body does that. If there's any impurities when she's breastfeeding, it'll leak
Mm-hmm.
out the other side of the breast, so the baby don't get it. But
Oh.
some of them dummies don't know these things.
Mm-mm-mm. Where's my people in the chat? Where you guys at? How do y'all feel about this the crisis that we're in today with the young disrespectful kids? Are they disrespectful or did we drop the ball? Where are my peoples at? Where are my peoples at? Let's get this chat moving. You still here, Ms. Ryan?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, I was just thinking, the younger generation, I think they're picking the ball up. I think they don't have racism on them because they wasn't taught that way. I believe
Mm-hmm.
that they are going to do great things. The millenniums, Generation X, I believe they're going to be doing great things because I see them protesting. I see them, being more conscious, more conscious. And I don't just see black people. I see white. I see all nationalities. All that is good and dandy. But if we're protesting for something that's black, to me, it should be all black. Because every time you needed somebody, extra bodies to protest, to get your point across, to get your law across, we was there for you. We was there for you. Don't change our fight. You can march with us, but be silent. Don't change our fight into another category like the LBGDP or, you know, Asian America or, whatever. You know, let's stay focused. This is the time for us to stay focused on what we're fighting for.
See, I think that black people have it's sad, but they have it's like we're phenomenal at creating. That's what we do. But we are terrible at making, as in making the money, as in like every other culture has a pot. We don't know about these pots. I'm here, sugar. Yeah, you okay, you could come in. You could come in. I'll let you talk, but you click on the link. See, I think that just like every other race, like before they even come to America, even when they get to America, they have a pot. Like we're gonna put all this money in the pot for beauty salons. We're gonna put all this money in the pot for Chinese restaurants. So that's how it's just like they do like a that's where like susu come from. Okay, everybody here put that $100 in this pot. We're gonna open up this store. Okay, the next year, everybody put that money in this pot because it's the same money being recycled.
I'm gonna tell you what I see in
Huh?
Texas. In Texas, I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you about this one family that live in my area, and it started out just the three: the husband, the wife, and the son, and the daughter. The next thing you know, more family came in. The family that comes in stays with them for about 6 months. They buy everything they need. They pool their money all together, and within 6 months, they're buying them a house. They get their house. Then the next family comes in, pool their money, bust it behind, work 6 months. Next one get a house, car and houses. Okay, and jobs. You got one. The women do the hair braiding in different parts of Dallas or whatever have you, and the men do auto mechanic work or taxi cabin work or they come and before they step on United States soil, they are told do not mix with the black people of America. Because if you do,
Yeah,
we will revoke your visa and you will be sent back to your country.
that I have
And,
heard.
and they stay
Yes.
very true to it. You can't you wave at them and they wave back. Hey, how you doing? I'm good, thank you, bye. I'm like, girl.
Like most of them come here, they got their salon. This is like they come. Like I said, we don't know how to put that pot together because we don't invest in what we like and what we buy.
Because
We'll
our
buy
country do not invest in us.
No, we don't. We don't. Just like 10 friends could come together and they say, "Hey, 10 friends, $100 makes $1,000." Okay, let's. We got some people that's starting to do it, but the main people who spending their money, like we don't understand economics at all.
I've
But
been doing susus. I've been doing susus
yeah, but
for a long
yeah,
time.
yes, but I was talking about the importance of the susu, which I was just using it as an example of we don't know how to make that pot. That's why we spend. That's like even when you rich, that money when they get rich, that money still go. They still circle that money back to the rich people. I'm gonna buy like 50, like 5 cars, or I'm gonna get like 50 chains. Like I think Floyd Mayweather bought like a $15 million watch or something like that. It's never back into the community. Well, let me let Underrated come and say something. Thank you for coming to step in. Mute your mic. Remember, the subject is: did we drop the ball, or did we ever have the ball? The floor is yours, Underrated.
Yeah, I want to thank you for inviting me to the panel, Miss Rob. Thanks seeing you and the rest of the people in the chat. We're the only people are consumers, and then at the same time that she said we invest in our community. We do invest in our community, but it's not trickling it down, and that's the conversation that we refuse to say have. You got some of us that have the money, but we invested in the neighborhoods that we in. Do we go back in the hood? Do we go back in the hood and build? Or we listen to the oppressor wants to tell us no, you don't need to be around these people because they savages, and that's why sometimes that we lose out too. We cannot listen. We can't listen what this oppressed system is now. Now there are some white men. I mean, there are some black men and white women is down with this oppressed system. Yeah, so we gotta understand that we gotta cast them away. We gotta stop being friends with them. We got if we talking about building, you know what? You got to understand that we got to go back and build, and then the ones who do not want to build, they got to deal with that. But the only way we're gonna have generation wealth, what I see, we we so far from behind, it's crazy. But I
Mm.
feel we got to start from somewhere, and so until us as a people that have money. So and then also we got to understand too that the United States, when these people come from different parts of the world, they giving them money. You hear what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They giving them money to build.
Mhm.
You hear what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So let's
Exactly.
let's understand that this is not just this. I'm 54. This been long gone. What happened? I'll talk about the Jews. All right. Everybody want to talk about you. Do you know this USA had have gave money to every old, I hate to say
Person they
it, but
bomb. Every person they
to
bomb.
every race that one was some way somehow in slavery, they make money off us. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick and tired that we gonna every time we gonna do something, we gotta include somebody else. But you include people that they don't want to do business with you.
Do
Come on
you
now.
think that?
Hmm? Go ahead.
Do you think that is maybe not that we don't want to do business, but we never learned the skills to do the business? Because a lot of us, I'm not talking about the ones who have the skills, but the ones that spending the money, they don't like just like we like our hair done. So then you would think that we would go, maybe because they took out the trade schools, they took out the trade in schools. They don't have like a lot of them beauty schools and stuff no more. But if we know that black folks love their hair, Chinese restaurants will cut you over a penny. You got that right. How you doing for so thank you for coming in? If you know for a fact that what do we spend? I see you later, sugar. There's a movie playing later on Fortnite. Oh goodness, at 11 p.m. What you have on this phone so needed fully charged. All right, thank you so much, sis, for coming in. Thank you so much. You have a blessed night. Now, I lost my train of thought, so y'all go. Ms. Ryan, you tune in.
Well, I was just saying, like what underrated one said, just like we patronize Chinese restaurants, we can't get a extra duck sauce if we ask for it. We patronize a lot of these the bodegas and the stores, corner stores, whatever. They don't give you anything for your children in the summertime when they having a block party. They don't want to donate. They take all the money out of our community and put it into their community, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree on that. But at the same time, too, we got the ones that have the money, and I'm talking about the brothers and sisters. They the one engaging with it. They engage in this, and then they got to get called out too. So that's what whatever little money that we had. I said for instance, Sugar Love, Miss Rod, the underrated one. If we had like I said for instance like maybe $100,000 a piece, we got to sit down and find us okay. If we go to the other face of what other banking and stuff, we ain't gonna get no loans. We ain't gonna get that. So we gotta find a way and find some brothers and sisters that they're gonna have the same alignment, be in the same alignment and the same mindset. Get somewhere that get some property and build it up and everything. And we gotta start building for ourselves. That's the only way. And because the ones that already have, they're not gonna come back. But see, we have to understand though too, they getting had too. So at the end of the day, we gotta build for ourselves because you know, and then also we gotta show the ones how to spend the money, how to save the money because
Yep.
I know a lot of people don't like to say that. I'm gonna say one last thing, and I'm gonna fall back. A lot of us is in survival. That's how we was raised in a survival mode. You hear what I'm
That's what
saying?
I was getting ready to say. Go ahead.
And so we gotta understand that too. You know what I'm saying? It's not like people we doing bad and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I was raised in the PJs. You know what I mean? I know that the mindset. Yo, it's all about survival out here. And then you got other programs. Have programs in there for the kids. They take that out. They ain't got nowhere to do. So, but it's just like it's all about class.
Back to
You
the
know what I mean?
basics. I'm sorry. I was saying back. But may I ask you where part of the states are you from? Which PJ from which state?
Oh, me? I'm originally from
Yeah.
Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, so I guess you was listening to me earlier because I was just basically saying that like that we were cut. You have to be from New York to understand. Our cloth is cut a little bit different than the rest. So maybe that's why a lot of people don't have our mindset because back in the days before they brought the crack in, when we was remember out of slavery they came out of slavery uneducated. Then next thing you know, we started picking up wisdom and knowledge. So we always had like that corner to go to where they was dropping that, either you was a 5%, or you was a Muslim, or you was a Hebrew Israelite, or you went to church. But we had so much stuff that was around us at all times that even when this thing called hip hop came out, that even if we didn't want to learn the knowledge, believe me, they still made you hear the lesson. See? But even if we didn't want to hear the lesson, it was incorporated in the music. That's why you hear a lot of time people will hear like a lot of these older rap songs. They don't understand when they hear the like earth and moon and sun and so we cut back a little bit more different. And then that's when they dropped that crack up in New York City. So we cut a little. That's why our hip hop is a lot different from there because ours has more of the. We always was dropping the jewels. They didn't have them jewels that we had. So it was a little bit more. Like I said, you have to be from New York to understand what I'm saying, because they didn't have that in other places. So do you think, like, when the corporations came in, with the crack, and now the corporations they brought in everybody else and dumbed it down, and they didn't bother to really study. That's why I said, people, if you don't know early hip hop and don't realize that, no, it wasn't just no hippity hop to the hip. It was a lot of good stuff, because Kool Moe Dee kicked out a lot of great knowledge. People was kicking knowledge up in the early hip hop, but we still have more knowledge than the rest of the states. Not calling us smarter, but back then also everybody knew somebody who knew how to do hair, so we didn't have to support these hair salons. Everybody knew somebody who knew how to do nails. We didn't have to support these nail salons. Everybody knew somebody who knew how to, everything that we spend our money on now, that's $1 billion business. Them skills are not, them simple skills are now gone. Because that's where all the money is. All the money is in beauty. Even when you didn't have hair color back in the day, they tell you throw some Kool-Aid up in your head, your hair is now colored. So, but what we spend majority of our money on, we're not learning them skills. I mean, we're not learning the skills for the littlest things that is worth $1 billion. Can you imagine? How can we really sit down and talk business with people who on a bigger plethora of a stage? How do we do that? Because we could have the conversation all the time, but the skills are not there. So even if the opportunity was there and all the money was on the table, a lot of people don't have to. What we gonna do with it? They don't have the skills. And then most of the people who have the money and who have the skills, they done sold out. They done sold out. So again, where do you think we go from there, and how do you see the future with the disrespect with these kids and not even wanting to learn it? How do you see the future? Where did we drop the ball? And how do you see it with these kids now underrated?
I'll let Miss Rock go.
No, Ms. Rock already spoke upon that. Where did we drop the ball?
For me, I think for me that we gotta stop listening what the system how to discipline our kids. We gotta reclaim back that we are the grown-ups and they are the kids, and we looking out for their favor. I'm gonna tell you why. Back in the 90s, early 90s, maybe Sugar Love and Miss Roddy, y'all can attest to that if y'all remember. There is a case, I forgot what part of the United States it's from. It was back in the early, matter of fact, I think it was 90, 91, something like that. And there was this kid took his parents to court, and he said he wanted to divorce his parents. And they went up almost all the way to the Supreme Court, or I think Third Circuit, something like that, court. And they granted him that he could divorce his parents.
You talk about the white kid?
Yeah.
Cochran?
Right.
And so, what you call it did that too, from Different Strokes.
Yeah. And so
what you talking about, Willis? He divorced his parents too.
Right.
And Drew Barrymore also.
Right. And so all this, so when we deal with all that, that's the start of the deterioration of the discipline of our people. I mean, it was start before that, but it went to me, it went to the second level of disciplining our kids. And so when you start having
you don't think crack played the crack and the drug scene played a more
yeah, they play a big scene. Yeah, right. It does play a big scene, but I'm talking about political now. Now you got the political, you got the feminists, and you got some of these men, and who will not stand up, who sell their own masculinity, try to say that, oh, you cannot just put your kids, especially the black man and stuff like that, and the black woman. And there was a lot, because I know this much because I remember I was with my nephew. I said, no, you can't do that. And so they said, oh, we're gonna call the cops on you and stuff like that. So we got to understand how the system works in all ways. And so, it's good. I mean, yeah, we got to blame crack. Yeah, it's true. But that's
Because
part of the
look
that
how
part of the
much.
government.
Because look, and like I said, you got to be from New York to understand what you are from New York. Look at all that knowledge that was being dropped, which we was not. I was about ready to change my. I was about ready to change my name too, honey. I was trying to get to that 18360. You know what I'm saying? I said, hit them books. I wanted to learn my 180. I wanted to get to my 360 because it was teaching you so much about it. But look how much knowledge we wasn't wearing. They had to say black medallion, no gold. And then we was talking about not wearing nobody's name on our pins. Yo, we had a whole, yo, that era right there will never be duplicated. If we could get back to that era where it was before the crack, all that knowledge was being poured on you before then to watch them turn into crackheads was horrible. But when you see them little kids and you was making them learn them lessons, remember them? Did you remember them lessons, underrated?
1 2 1 2
Yeah, I do.
1 2 1 2.
You know
One,
what
two, one,
lessons I'm
two.
talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. So even if you didn't want to learn, I keep putting her in twice. Okay. But if we could get back to that, I think once that era left, that's when the ball was completely dropped. Because now we got all these crack babies, and then that's when all the more the gangs life started being, because the machine took over. The machine purposely changed hip hop because of that. They changed hip hop because of that. So can you imagine changing your name to like how you be like peace God, peace God, peace God. And we was that was soaking in our system so good that we started seeing ourselves as kings and queens. So they took that from us when I think with the hip hop music, when the machine took over, they was like they would not be calling themselves no kings and queens. They would be calling themselves Miss Ryder here 3 times. Miss Ryder, say hello. Oh God, but go ahead, underrated.
Yeah, but I would say this though, and then we cannot leave this out. We got to understand why hip hop was still evolving. That's when the corporations start coming in. So when the
Yeah, the
corporations start
machine.
coming, yeah, the machine. Yeah, it's all the same to me. And so
Mm.
when they start cutting out the culture part of hip hop, that's when they start getting watered down. That's when like the elders and the OGs they start taking the money instead of like, nah, we're not gonna take this one. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was it was been a rip so it been a rip so it was a ripple effect and everything, throughout the country and stuff like that. So that's why you see how hip hop is right now, stuff like that. And so
Well, you can't understand a word they saying. How about that?
now you can't understand the words. So I was hearing like, it's so funny because they will always talk about the black man. And I'm again, I say this and everything, but I say you right about what the black man doing right now. But we got these women right now talking about shooting. Yo, I'm gonna shoot that bitch in the face. Fuck that. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? It's all about get that money. It's all about fuck. I'm gonna get that big dick. Fuck that. Fuck that nigga nine to
Hey,
five
language,
job.
language, language,
Excuse.
language,
Oh,
language.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm talking about. I don't like this and that. So I would say this: if you want us, I say you want us to check these young black boys. You gotta check these young girls too. These women. I'm
Well,
like
I,
that.
I, I don't. When I mean youth, I don't never differentiate male
No,
or
no, no. I'm
female.
not saying. I'm just saying
It's
in
the youth.
general.
Period. In general, it's the youth. Period. We have to change the youth mindset. Period. I check the both because especially I have a male child and a female child. They both needs to be checked. They both need to, they it's always it takes two to tangle. I always go the both. But neither one can check each other until they check themselves. If you not, like I said back in the days when we was with that UNITY and we had our heads up. calling each other queen, and then the men was calling each other kings, and we was calling each other kings and queens. It was a big difference. So we didn't create the music started when they brought in that new hip hop to drown out to drown that out. That's why I said that era would never be duplicated. It would never be duplicated. The men have more of a better brotherhood. The females had a female hood, and we had that respect for each other. Because, like I said, that was the different era. We had them lessons that was being taught, which is not. It's like a lost art now. It's like a lost art. It's like even people say Charlemagne the God all the time, but nobody's like, well, Charlemagne, break. Nobody has never asked once Charlemagne to break that thing down. Nobody has never once asked Charlemagne what's today's mathematics.
Oh, he's a clown anyway. Oh, he's a clown. He's a clown. Everybody at the Breakfast Club, they're a clown. They all clowns. But you gotta understand, like, they down with the system. So you gotta do what the system say. Listen, you gotta do this. I got you. I get you houses. I'm put some money in your pocket. I call that the 50-year plan. Just how it is. You stay in a certain job, stay in one for 50 years. You put your kids through school and all like that. After that 50 years, now you got to do something for us. And that's how it is. So they're going to be getting used up. And then you know what they're going to say? Next. So, and that's going to be the problem, though.
Miss Rod?
Hello? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Back when Public Enemy, the music had messages in it. White Lines had messages in it. All the songs, it was telling you something. But most of the people understood what they were saying, but they didn't adhere to it. And now the music that have the messages, that the music now have messages in it, the messages are deceitful. Everybody can't sell drugs. Everybody can't dance in stripper shows and sing. Everybody can't sing and dance. That's why there's only selected people doing these things that we call them our artists. That grow into the entertainment. But as you grow, you bring up your brother and your sister with you. You know what I'm saying? You get them to start their own little business with you. They act like this money, which is only in a bank account with zeros, ones and zeros, binary money, act like somebody going to steal it from them. But if you sit there, you're making the bankers rich because they got all your money. You diversify your accounts, they still got all your money. We need to go back to the days we put our money in the damn suitcases under the bed, okay? Because they can take your money with a stroke of a keyboard. And you broke. And like a lot of these football players and athletes, how they looking broke and dirty and being bums and stuff, as much money as they made. I just really feel sad for a lot of them.
I don't, but I don't, but that's because I think that a lot of these things, even though it started out as a joke, but I believe that joke. It's like you have to have the starter's kit. It's like if you're a black man and you got money, this is your starter's kit, and you better get it. You better get them gold chains. You better have at least 5 cars. You better have that telephone money thing. Where you don't see no other race have to get that starter's kit but us. We the only ones that gotta get that starter's
kit. Gold teeth in your mouth, tattoos all over your body, piercings all over your body, gold teeth in your mouth.
Exactly.
This is what you're showing our younger kids. This is what you're showing the younger generation. And illiterate. And you got to be illiterate, because if you wasn't illiterate, we will understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I know one thing. After some of these videos, but it's like I like when I always pick upon the OGs, because honey, I felt when I see Master P, sometimes I feel his presence. I'm like, let me be a good girl. Like somebody like Chuck D. When I see Chuck D, his presence alone, let me be good. You know, it's like, oh God, you know, even though they're in their age bracket, but their presence alone is stronger than a gun. Like you may hear a lot of people, them young folks try to clap at them, but let them walk in the room. Crickets, crickets, crickets. How do we get back there? How do we get more Master P's, even more Jay Prince, more like Chuck D's, more like KRS-Ones, like with them men that has them presence, like don't make me got to spank you. You know I spank you, right? Or is it that the older men, they want to stay young, they want to do what they do, like maybe they never grew up or something, like what, you know.
I believe everything starts at home.
Yeah, but now
Everything
to the
starts at
point that
home.
no more love songs, there's no more love songs. There's no songs that talk about a home anymore. There's no, I mean, they made sure when they changed hip hop, they changed R&B. So at
And
least
then they changed
if
the
we didn't have
R&B. They changed the color of R&B. I said they changed the color of R&B. They changed the
They've
color
been
of
changing
rap.
color crowd. Exactly. But now there's nothing put up in there to make you want to think about nothing. It only makes you want to live for the moment. And none of these songs make you think about the future. Like like a lot of these songs, Loving You, it's like it always had things that could last forever. Like everything now is like a bunny type of song, like right here, right now, right at this moment. So that's why a lot of
One
kids don't.
one hit wonders. They one hit wonders.
And a lot of them, and it's bad because the other part of the kit that they gotta buy is to, when they do buy all that stuff, now that puts kids out there, just like how a lot of kids end up selling them drugs that polluted their neighborhood because of the kits that they made the black people buy. Now I can't get this, so now I have to sell drugs to look like that. So now the roles have reversed. Now the artists want to be gangsters, and the gangsters want to be. Now you can't even tell them apart. But that played a big part in it too. All them chains that, instead of, you never see them put anything back in the communities. I mean, it has gotten to the point that maybe because we all have gotten so selfish, like individual. We all about the individual now, about the me. Like the I.
Well,
there's no way.
I could give you the perfect example. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey made millions and millions of dollars. And you would think her being from Chicago, Mississippi, Chicago, you would think that she would help build up Chicago, make it safer, make it better. Whatever she did would have been the best she could do. No, she goes outside the United States and go build a school in Africa. Okay? Now, my whole thing about that was beautiful. I loved it. The African girls get to learn, whatever. Beautiful, right? But at
You're
the
not
same time,
disputing that. I got you.
Nobody understands the reason why she did it in Africa. Because the white man going to tell you, you will not spend your money that I'm giving you to make your people better on United States soil. You will go abroad. That's why a lot of people now is leaving United States and going to Africa. You go into Africa and you're getting dual citizenship, like Ludacris. Ludacris just got dual citizenship in Ghana, out in Africa.
Oh yeah.
Quite a few of the people. Quite a few of the people got dual citizenship in Africa. Now, we as regular human beings, regular people, we can't afford to get dual citizenship. So we need to make the best of what we got on our land right now. I've been hearing things about, the upper people talking about reparations and stuff. Reparations right now is at 15 trillion. So if reparations ever get passed, we don't want it in education. We want it in land, we want it in cash, and we want it in property. Okay?
Mhm.
Because we can build our own education institutions. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the Muslims. The Muslims built their own educational system for to teach their children. The Jews do it to teach their own children. Sooner or later, in a couple of years, maybe within the next decade, the Constitution doesn't even tell you have to go to school. So what are you gonna go? What are the parents gonna do then when there's no more free education? But yet you're not making enough money to send your kid to a private school or school. Everybody's gonna have to start homeschooling. Like I noticed that in Texas, a lot of people homeschool out here, all the way up to high school. They do the
Yeah,
four
but a
years of high
lot of
school
the
and they off to
parents,
college.
but it's like everything that we do is a catch-22 because even the kids that's out now is terrible because being that they was the crack babies, being that they was the crack babies,
Not all right.
you
We
think.
crack. We ain't nobody
But I'm
heard from crack
saying
in 2 decades.
what I'm
But
saying is that they're not educated enough to teach their own kids. A lot of them cannot read themselves. That's why they want them kids back in that school. Like now you have to sit home and deal with their own kids. But a lot of them, and like I said, we the only race of people that had trauma that was brought to us that we never had got no type of mental health for. We are the
yeah, I
only group
understand that from
for the
slavery.
trauma that we received.
I understand that from slavery. We never got to. We just thrown out. We just thrown out with the water. Nobody never got any mental healing. From all the hardship, and even
So
as
we still
centuries
have
and
a
decades
lot of
went
triggers.
on,
You know,
as
we are.
centuries and decades have gone on, we still do not get what we need mentally, physically, or financially. So when people telling me they're going to go vote, I ask them, "What are you voting for? Who are you voting for? Stop voting for free. Let these people, let these politicians give us an agenda. We want to give you our agenda, and we want you to put our agenda into law, and we want the state, that the House and the Representative pass it.
I
How,
don't
how are
know
we
if you're
still?
going lower, Ms. Rod, or you're breaking up, but maybe it's your
Hear me
volume or
now?
something. Yeah, you much better, much better, much
Yeah.
better. Yeah, good,
And
perfect.
they sitting up there and they giving the vote away for free. They gave Obama the vote for free for 8 years. They gave
Mm.
Clinton the the first black president. I was shocked when I saw that museum got Clinton in a black museum as the first black president. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? What is
125th
wrong with these
Street
people?
in Harlem
I'm
too.
like, man, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. But then you turn around and then regentrification comes through, and your neighborhood now is too expensive for you to live. You think they're not tearing down these projects? They're selling them off, turn them into condominiums. If you can afford to live there, you can afford it. If you can't, then where the
Oh,
people going?
do you
Where the
remember?
people going?
If y'all for you, boy, we all from BK. Where remember where Scuba Scrap used to live? What's them towers off Howard Avenue between Howard? I forgot them towers. It was off Howard and on the way to Pickett Ave. Them two tall buildings.
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
remember the
the name.
buildings.
Something Towers. Honey, if you see that area now, if you see that area now, you be like, where am I? All them old places where it was nothing but lots. You be like, it's like Where am I? You may mess around and turn down the wrong block. You have no, that gentrification, honey, is real.
Yeah.
But see,
When
what people missed. Okay, this is where I said a lot of people, instead of being so conscious, you should have your eyes open, because once gentrification came into our neighborhood, that's when the charter schools start dropping. The charter
oh
schools
God,
start dropping. Who you think working in those charter schools? The people they bring in to work. They're people they bring in to work, not people
from
really
other
from the
and
neighborhood.
nobody from
They
New York,
spring.
but
Hold on, hold on. They'll sprinkle a
I'm
couple of people from your neighborhood into the charter school, but yet everybody is from somewhere else. And who do
yep.
you think they're giving the quote unquote low housing to? It's not low housing. They tell you it's low housing so the government can fund it. But in reality, how was low housing $1,500 for one bedroom? So they put a twist on it. They get the people that's working in the schools and in the new businesses to live in those housing, and then they have maybe 3 apartments that are subsidized for Section 8 for poor people to live in. I read the
Mm.
whole rundown about how low income housing go. I said, why is all these new places coming up and nobody really can get into them? Oh, the waiting list. You're on a waiting list. So all these things that they did, they moving the black people, they moving us like pawns on the chessboard, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now I was
They moving.
Miss
No, that wasn't you.
Miss. The B lady is responding to you. So if you see any of her comments and you wanna, she said to you, they bring in, I don't know what that word is, a Tifa to burn up our communities, then they sell them. Then she said, Miss Rod, teacher here, amen. And then, then she said, they're moving us like cattle. We keep letting them burn us out. So that was her response to you.
Absolutely. Hi, B lady. Hi, B lady. Love you. Miss you. And so now that they moving us out of our community, and they wanna build bridges, they wanna build roadways and everything that divide. You see, you have to go back to the redlining district. How they was redlining before. They still redlining. They have blacks and Hispanics on one side of the street, and they have the white and the Asian and all that on the other side of the street. Let me tell you, you go across the street, you might get killed. Certain parts, certain places, you can't. I mean, they still got sundown times. Still got sundown
Mm-hmm.
times. So, what is this really about? Like, when the white people, now that's what's going on right now. Okay, don't. And let me say this before I go any further. And this is truly, I don't have no ill feelings towards white people or any kind of nationality or race. I don't. When I say the white people, I'm not talking about the white people that we know today. I'm talking about them old racist white people who've been running the country for forever. Those people who
1%.
pass their wealth down to their generations, and teach their children how to be white supremacists and pass it down to generations to keep us on a whole. Now we all know ain't no black person, ain't no now see now you have to think about it, because if you turn around and you say America is a land of immigrants, okay? Everybody that came to America for a better life. Black people did not immigrate to America. We was brought here to build a better life for them. We was brought to America to build them a better life. All the immigrants that's coming. And then most of the immigrants coming with bankroll from their countries. You see, so when you sit up there and you actually look at the proclamation, there's more than one proclamation. There's like 3 or 4 of them. All of them been updated to updated and still say the same thing.
But we still ain't black people still ain't get to feel the full human being yet. Okay, let's take some from the chat. I think these are to you, Miss Rod. The B lady says these kids are too young to remember the redlining. Actually, I don't remember the redlining either. So actually, I'm sitting here. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the red line either. Okay, so and then she says to you, I'm just reading what she's saying to you so that you can respond to her. All these young blacks out there know nothing about the civil rights movement. That is how they are getting away with it. Then she says, Amen. We came and we built the White House. Well, I think I mean, we're not separate now. I think we're supposed to love everybody, but I still think that integration was the worst thing that could have happened. But I think the response was to you, Miss Rod, from the B lady. Do you want to respond to what she had to say? I don't know. I don't know if you see her
because
you can
what do you think of a country? No, I can't see the chat because I'm in a different part of the house.
Right, that's why I'm reading it. I'm reading it to you.
Thank you. What people don't understand, America has to pay for her sins. She has to pay for her sins. Because anytime you can burn down and drop bombs on your own citizens of the United States, Tulsa, Oklahoma, bombing over here,
right.
bombing in Mississippi, bombing. If you can do that to your own people, what cannot be done to you? Why should it not be done to you? So if they tearing up Targets, I don't own a Target. Nobody I know own a Target. They tear up a Walmart, I don't own a Walmart. Tear up a Gucci, whatever designer stores, break it up, Rolex, whatever. We don't own none of it. We don't own nothing. And who do you think is sending the people to tear it up? It ain't black people. Black people ain't built like that. So you see a couple of black people, who you see throwing the bricks?
And they making it say we the only we looting. I believe it's poor folks everywhere.
Who do you see throwing the bricks? You see the white people. You see the white people throwing the bricks. Okay. All right. So if they throwing the bricks, how's we the ones setting it off, looting?
This ride is on the road.
And like you said, B lady.
You on the road tonight.
Like you said, B lady.
You go, girl. You on the road. She catching up from all the time she was sick because she on the road tonight, baby.
I'm sick right now. That's why I'm moving around. I'm sick right now. Oh. But I just wanted to say that you're right, B lady, because my youngest son, he said, Mom, I'm going to go protest. I said, you gonna go do what? I'm gonna go protest Black Lives Matter. I said, little boy, come to my house. And I had to ask him, before you go protest, I need you to answer these questions. What is a protest to you? You supposed to go protest with your little white friends. Protest what? You will stay your ass home with your family, okay? And you will look up 1968. Now I taught you about Martin Luther King. I taught you about Malcolm. I taught you about most of the black leaders and entrepreneurs and people in our generation. You cannot go out there and protest for something you don't know what you're fighting for. This is the problem. Black people don't have an agenda to fight. You don't know what you're fighting for. Nope. Some want to fight for equality. Some want to fight for separation. Some want to fight for land. You have to be on the same page and get on code. You can't keep talking about what you're going to do. You have to start doing it. And the only thing that America understands is bloodshed. That's it. Bloodshed and money and property. So they say, oh, well, we'll just give the black people California, Arizona, and let's send them over to Alaska or whatever. No, we don't want to send them over to Alaska because the waters of Alaska, there's too much profit coming out of the waters, as far as the seafood profits and all that stuff like that. What they really want to give you? They really want to give you your 40 mules in an acre. Trust me, it'll be in a desert if you're waiting for it. That's all I got to say.
We got to get back to the chat. She says to you, back years ago, they found proof that all railroad tracks were near blacks' cause. They had a plan to ship us back to Africa. They was not shipping us back to Africa because that's not where we came from. We came from a part of Africa, but they wasn't shipping us back to Africa. It was a military plan. I saw the blueprint. They was not shipping. They were shipping us back to Africa, all right, but not to our home, not to our part of Africa. But they could have shipped us back. They should. I mean, fine, but I don't.
Okay. They was not shipping us back to Africa. They was going to send us into the ocean and dump us and kill us there. We was going to die in the ocean.
That I can agree with that. That
Look it up. Look it up.
That part, because that's what they've been was doing to us. But the thing was that I got to tell people, I always add music into the conversation. When they realize how creative that we are, they needed us. They needed our creativity because it amused them. It made them feel good. Like when we was able to when we separated and got into our own church. Remember, we were singing their way. We were singing the way they sung. They did not know when we truly sing, honey, and that spirit hits you. So they didn't realize that till they made us go into our own churches, and now they're peeping in. So now, oh my goodness, we want them to come sing for us, sing at our parties and sing for his. So our talents is what basically saved us. Our God-given talents, that's one thing they could not take from us. Not just the gospel music, the voice is our voices, period. That's why they got that, we got that soul music. But our talents is what saved us. Like even our talents of medicine, they had it was plenty of times they had doctors who went to school, the doctor school, whatever the school you call for medicine. But we knew how to make the medicine from what God gave us. We knew what each plant was. We knew what plants was good, what plants wasn't good. So we were saving more of their lives before the doctor even got there. And then that's when they started calling us witches and stuff like that after but our God-given talent, which they could not take from us. You cannot take what God, that's why I said anything is for you is for you. Everything is for our people's part. They could not take that away from us. Because if they could have took that from us, even the way we play basketball, baseball, you name it, whatever we could do, if they was able to do that. So they figured how to put us back in slavery by offering the people who can do that a car or something, not knowing that record, it could be worth billions of dollars later. Like, look how
all the black man wanted was a Cadillac. A Cadillac.
Exactly.
That's all he wanted was a Cadillac. And what did the Italians say? Oh, go give the ends a Cadillac and a couple of $1,000. They'll do what we say. Sold drugs and sold out your own people for a four-wheel. Look at the movie in the Five Heartbeats. Perfect example. As soon as they had a hit record, and guys made a couple of dollars. Nobody got houses. They gave them all Cadillacs.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, when we sign up contracts, they tell you this what you gonna get. This what you gonna get. That's like I was doing like my other channel, Brooklyn Does It Better. I do a reaction channel. And do you see? Look at my man, Charlie Wilson. All them songs he wrote, but he still end up on drugs. No word. Forget about. And I was like, wasn't about him going on drugs and not having nothing. The point was he wrote all them songs and did not even own them. Yeah. Little Richard wrote all them songs, did not own them. Jackie Wilson, another one, but did not. All of them, all our artists. That was another form of slavery. Even because even the people who, even the I don't even know what to call them, but the Jewish people, even they said, you know what, we're going to keep them in slavery because we're going to be their friend, but we're really going to just make billions and give them pennies. and give them. They found the way to take our talent now, and I'm gonna still make you run that yard, and you're gonna catch the football, you're gonna bounce the ball, and you're gonna do this. You and that's a trend. Hip hop, our talents is what changed the world. You may want to call us African American. We're gonna leave it as what they call us, African American. It's something special in our water that we
No,
changed.
you're not gonna call me. You're not gonna call me African American.
No, but I'm just saying. I get what you're saying, but that's another subject. I'm saying we got something special that our talent changed the whole world. And a lot of us may not know a lot of different cultures, but every culture know African American culture. They know how to bop their head. They imitate us so much. You do not see us imitating them. They the ones.
Jesse Jackson is still getting paid off of coining our black people African American. Okay.
No, that I do know. We've been called a lot of bad words, but like I said, we're going to talk about that on another subject. But I'm just saying, it's something about. Okay, let me just say it the correct way. Something about the tribe of Judah, to be more specific. It's something about the tribe of Judah that is so special that we changed the whole entire world. Everybody, I don't know, it's something special mixed in that water. And yeah, in the story, us blacks are special. That everybody wants to, but what they did, the trickery that they did was they made that slavery again. Because that's $1 trillion. Everything I name is over $1 trillion. That all came from us. That's not $1 billion no more. All the different talents that we do. Go ahead, Ms. Ryder.
Every Christmas, let me talk about black people money. Black people spend over $1 billion on Christmas. Okay? God knows how much on Black Friday, but Christmas is still. Now, how come the white people don't spend $2 and $3 billion? Because we're spending our billion to them, and they're sitting there collecting it. So therefore, when you talk about what's in the water, it's in our DNA.
That's
black people are the only people that can reproduce any body, any color, duplicated. We the only people. The only people. The black woman can reproduce all civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so therefore, what they're doing, well, I don't know. It depends on what topic. We're talking about dropping the ball, but that's another topic.
Yeah, that's why I said when people don't dropping the ball. So, do you think that I brought up
the ball dropped in Africa? You want to say the truth? The ball dropped in Africa when they didn't come back.
Well, yes, because at that point Egypt was part of Africa. But remember the bus boycott in the South. They broke the buses and couldn't sit anywhere. But when I brought up sports and stuff, and when I brought up our talents, again, it's $1 trillion business that we all had our own. We had our own basketball.
Our own Negro leagues.
Our own Negro league. Everything that we playing now, we had our own.
And when they saw that we was unbeatable, that's when they needed to segregate. And then pick them all off.
Instead of us saying, let's not sell out our people, we'll rather keep this low pay. No, I give you more money. Okay, come on, Jackie Wilson. You'll be the first one to come on in here, or whoever
Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson. Well, whoever was the first. You're going to get humiliated, but you're doing it for your people. But we had he wasn't the best black. He was just the one that said, okay, I'll be the first one to cross on over there. He could have stayed where he was at. Again, that's where we dropped the ball. So what we showing our kids is we don't know what to do with ownership. We don't know what to do with ownership. So because we don't want to own, just like what was that hair company? Oh my gosh. And then next thing you know, as soon as her hair company got good, she's so clear.
Mm.
I forgot the name, but she made all natural
Yeah,
hair
Satchel
products.
Page was something else. Yeah.
And she made Satchel Page was
Carolyn's
butter.
daughter. Carolyn's daughter.
Yes, Carol. And it was a real story.
Yeah.
Sold out. It's like every time we get to own something, we don't show our kids that we don't pass it down. Like I said, we don't never pass nothing good down to our kids. We rather sell it for the profit. So then now our kids, Sugar Love, I watched it on YouTube. She made the products for Black. Yes, I'm agreeing. That's what I was saying. But again, what does that show our youth? What does
Sylvia. Also, Sylvia is a very popular
Sylvia sold
restaurant.
out too?
Yeah, girl,
The one
sold
in
out
Harlem?
20, 30 years ago, girl.
What? Harlem? That's why I don't hear nobody talking about it no more.
Didn't try to put her food on the shelf. Ain't nobody buying it.
Yeah, I should have known she sold out then. I should have known she was sold out. Yeah, but even though her daughter bankrupted, okay, she still was able. That because she wanted to go big. She would have stayed. We could stay. We don't have to be super
Hi,
big.
Foot Soldier.
Foot Soldier, my baby back.
Mm-hmm.
She back or she leaving us?
She said good evening. Okay.
I thought she was in here. I didn't see my boo. Yeah, but
right.
again,
But see that's the whole thing about it, B lady. You know, Black people don't know how to handle money. They don't know how to handle success. They don't know how to handle businesses because they go instead of taking your time to investigate it, they go to the white man who's going to scam them out of what they got. I've seen it happen 1,001 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen 1,001 times. Instead of you going, and then you say, well, Black people, they don't like to see you get ahead. Why wouldn't I teach? Well, I'm going to start teaching that too. Why wouldn't I teach my people how to become homeowners? Why wouldn't I? I didn't wake up and become a homeowner. I became a homeowner in my late 40s. And people sit up and say, oh, you need a man or you need this. No, did it by myself.
Yeah.
Why can't I teach other Black women to start to become homeowners at whatever age in life you are? Because at the end of the day, it's invested in property. And the property you're investing into is for the next generation. Now, I thought about it. I said, my children want to say, oh, give me the money, sell the house. I'm going to be like, oh, no, I'm going to keep it, mommy house. I'm going to sell it and I'm going to split the money between you. And this is going to be put in a fund for your children, for all my little nieces and nephews. We're going to put all this in a pot for y'all to have a head start because this is how white people do generational growth.
Exactly.
This is how you get generational wealth.
We don't know how to put that pot together. Ms. Rod, Ms. Rod, the B lady said to you, Ms. Rod or die. Well, even though we spoke upon that a little bit earlier, but I'm just gonna just say it again. She's basically talking about when they burnt down Wall Street and what you brought up earlier. They didn't burn
it down. They bombed it.
That was where
they killed thousands and thousands of people.
And the crazy part about it, that was where Charlie. That's where the Gap Band come. That's where they get the name. The
you
Gap
dropped the bomb on me.
No,
dropped the bomb on me.
GAP stands for that area in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then they had the FBI or one of the letter people. They had all a file with all their names and all their family names because Charlie Wilson told the story. He said, if anybody spoke upon what happened, if anybody, because he said this, check it out, his interview. If anybody, he said, but now the order years, it was like one or two living people that told them what really went down. And they said if they saw something, if a cop or somebody asked them what happened, if they opened their mouth, they were gone. They were gone. But the stories that man told, but it stands for the GAP, GAP, the GAP stands for a particular area in Tulsa where they was from. And then
I heard that too.
Right, and then you hit that on the head too. Even though he made it was about a love song, but people didn't really understand he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they dropped the bomb on him. So he made that. So that man is very talented. But a lot of people, if you don't know Charlie Wilson, he said he never told it. He just one of the older ladies that was still living. Like, listen, hopefully they burnt the folders or whatever. But every last one in that area had a hit on them.
The water is full of the bodies if they haven't been eaten already. But it's like when the reason why they did that because they saw a whole black community, and the more I researched and looked into it, I said, "Wow, they had a movie theater, they had banks, they had schools, they had hospitals, they had they had a law department." Not police, a law department. And for peace officers and everything, they had everything. They did not want it to spread throughout United States. And so they said, let's destroy them. Because the black people are not spending their money with them anymore. The black people are spending the money within their own community. The communities these days is not the same as they were back then because they're so mixed up. Lord, she done left me to talk. Girl, let me be quiet. But yeah, and they had their own schools, the hospitals, they had everything. So if you can make a Tulsa, Oklahoma in Tulsa, why not in every state? Why not in all 49 other states? But no, you want to sit up there and claim all the states that have the minerals, that have all the gold. People like, oh, United States don't have no minerals, they don't have gold, they don't have oil. We have everything in the United States. And everybody, black people are the only people that cannot be deported out of the United States. Everybody else gotta go. Everybody else gotta go. Black people can't be deported. So all the other immigrants, they gotta go. Hey, sorry to see them go because they got Europe, they got Asia, they got all the other continents. We're not talking countries, we're talking continents. Okay? We're talking continents that they own.
I'm sorry, I had to go. It was calling me. But I think all of us should really, really read that story about Tulsa, Oklahoma. But Charlie Wilson,
they have video on it. They have videos on it too.
And I've seen some of it, but when you hear that, as a living people that's really able now to talk about a lot of stuff that they didn't cover, because he heard it from a living person.
The white people documented it. It's documented in history. But what it is that they lied so much about Black history. They lied so much about it, and it was hidden. Now all the truth is coming out. Christopher Columbus did not discover America. These coming out. All these racist monuments that's up and around now coming down. All these things that we as Black people always been saying is coming. Yeah, 14 trillion. Each Black person will get what, 100,000? 100,000? What are you gonna do with $100,000? Come on now.
And the B lady says, Ms. Rod, I bet most Black youth don't know that the Democrats all voted against the Amalgamation Proclamation. Then she says, I'm a Democrat, but I keep my eye on them and vote for who I want to. Yes, that is absolutely true. But you have to remember, We wasn't set free because they felt sorry for us. We only was set free because only 1% was making the money. Only 1% was making the money. So the people who you would call the trailer trash or the trailer people, like, well, hold up. I'm living just like them. I ain't got nothing to eat. I'm starving. I may have the privilege to live. I may could be very nasty and be very mean, but we're not getting none of that slavery money. No, we want to revolt. So none of that. I'm so grateful to be here tonight. So much I have learned. Thank you, Tina Bina. You know, because we speaking upon it in an educational type of way. Because everybody in here is all love. Let's let me just, like Ms. Rod said earlier. But the truth is truth. History is history. We don't make the stuff up, and we didn't create it. So I'm glad that people of all cultures in here is taking it for exactly how it is. It's nothing but educational. It's out there. The information is out there. We're not making it up. We're not saying go do this. We still have nothing but love up in here, but this is still educational. So
When I left YouTube, because I got sick when I left YouTube, I was working on the Indians. The reason why I was working on the Indians was because I wanted to learn about their reparations and what happened with them. And I got a couple of friends that are born Cherokee, born quite a few other kinds of Indians. And then I ran across a couple of $5 Indians. Okay. So I wanted to learn about how they reparations did them. And trust me, we don't want their package because they did them dirty. To today, they're still doing them dirty. They're still doing them dirty. They're not giving them the government control all their casino money, and they give them money from their own casinos. You know what I'm saying? So they did them dirty.
Got the water polluted and everything else. Okay, Miss B Lady says, what do you mean by the 1%? School me. Go ahead, Miss Rod. Take that because my ice is cold. The 1%.
Well, it's only black people only have 1% wealth in this country.
No, the 1%. No, the 1% is the people that's on the top of the pyramid. The 1% is the trillionaires. The 1% is like the people from Britain, the people from Scotland, like them Jews, the Jewish, like them Jews, everything that got an ish to it. That's the 1%. That's the one that owns. That's the ones that's got everybody like this. So that's like the DuPonts and the what's some other what's that man
the Rothschilds.
The Rothschilds. What's that man Jay-Z was before the top of the Gates and I forgot, but
the Rockefellers.
The Rockefellers. That's the 1%. Them the ones who own everything. Them are the ones that
control the world.
Them the ones that control the world. That bank. Them the ones
control the world because they control the money.
That bank, that reserve, what you call it, National Reserve Bank. Okay, I meant during Emancipation Proclamation. The 1% still control that. The 1% still control that. But you got to remember, the what you would consider the trailer park people were like, hold up. It is supposed you didn't bring them here for the bankers. You didn't bring them here for all of. We're not getting no use out of these people from slavery. Yeah, we got the privilege. Thank you for passing us down the privilege. It's beautiful. And thank you for having me say I can treat them how I want to treat them. And if I go to court, I'm going to always win. But we're not profiting. I'm still hungry. My kids are still hungry. Why? You got to remember, this is free labor. Free labor. So you got other white people that's working their behinds off in their farms and everything. And now I got to see you next door in a big old mansion and you became the 1% because of free labor, but I have nothing. So that's when they started voting like, nah, nope. See, people, I gotta remember how this works. Anytime something is done, it's really never truly for us, and it's not for our favor. We just think it's in our favor. But just like when Ms. Rob was saying something about the protesting and all that other stuff, and we see people that's not for our favor. It's been this same conversation that we have it now. Our mothers had it, and our grandmothers had it. Our great grandmothers had it. Every generation, and then now our kids is gonna have the same conversation. They won't be talking about and they're back to lynching people now. And they're back to lynching people. Wasn't two guys was just lynched just last
Let me
week?
tell you, black
places?
people are not going to kill themselves. Black people are not going to kill themselves by lynching. Okay, sorry. If you want to commit suicide, you're either going to do two things. You're either going to blow your head off, or you're going to take some pills. Because we don't like that kind of pain. And you can't lynch yourself with handcuffs on. So you need to stop it. Stop it all the way.
Sugar, how do I get the B lady back? I don't know what happened to her.
Oh, you should have to go back to our other screen and unblock her.
Oh, she blocked her.
I think so.
Then I have to unblock her?
Yeah.
All right, so go to my other screen.
Yeah, she was hidden.
Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah, that cell phones do that, right?
Somebody else
on, B
did
lady.
that.
Hold on, B lady. You coming back? I know it was an accident for Soldier.
She's back.
Okay, cool.
Tell her to say something.
Hey, yeah, no, you good now. It was an accident. Someone did it by accident. You know, these cell phones, you touch it too much, you block anybody.
No, that happens all the time. You go after one person. No, you're not blocked. There you go. You're not blocked, sister. See, we read in your
said
comment.
No problem. You said no problem. So, therefore, these people, the only way that I can see it, we have to get insurance. Black people have to start looking into insurance, because whatever way you're going to go, you need to leave something for your children behind. That starts off the sort of the wealth. But I was very strict when I did my insurance. I made sure each one of my children can take care of themselves. Because what I'm leaving you, you are not buying a car with, you're not buying no sneakers with, you're not buying no clothes and all kinds of flim flams and woo-boos. You are to take that money, put it into your children's education. You are to build them a future as well. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want insurance. I die. Put me in pocket." Yeah, but you leaving your family the pain and the suffering to bury you, or to whatever highway you're gonna go. You have to start thinking of your future, because at one time I used to be so scared when I would drive in the car with my sister, my kids, and all my nieces and nephews together. I'd be scared. I was scared because of, like, God forbid we have an accident. My mother's history is over. My mother's future is over. So we don't fly together anymore. We travel separately because of it. But you have to start putting money away for your kids, for your grandkids, whether it be $10 a month, $5 a month. The same time we go when we buy nonsense or whatever, we have to start saving. You don't need every new thing that comes out. You don't need a new car every year. You don't need new clothes and stuff like that every year. You need your necessities. Once Black people start going back to the necessities, we will have more money to put towards our future. How about buying some stock? How about, doing some stocks and bonds? How about doing some trading? Little that they not know is that Black people taught these white people all these things to do. We taught them how to be carpenters. We taught them how to be bricklayers, plasterers, painters. We taught them all these skills. So for them to take all the skills and get them controlled by the unions and then take them out of the educational schools for the kids, who most of those kids go to them schools? Black, Hispanic, you know, lower class people. And there's no more class. There's no more middle class, lower class, upper class. It's either you're rich or you're poor. So
I know one thing. This has been
now I'm not gonna haunt them. I taught my boys pretty well. Yeah, they doing good. They know they can't get none of my money. My grandkids.
I cry every time I see the news and the killings more and more every day. The world is getting ugly. It scares me. I never thought I would have to tell my kids about this. My son is scared. See,
Everyone is scared.
the problem is, and I always say, everybody got their own way. But the problem is, the white privilege is a heritage that's been passed. It's an inheritance that's been passed down. Everybody can have their own way. But if I completely say I want this to be over and I want it to be equal, but equal means that now they don't want to give up their inheritance. Like they don't want to give up the part that, just like when the guy, when he took out the people at the church, they bought if I'm not mistaken, bought a Burger King. A lot of privilege that they do have, in the money and the resources that comes from their privilege, like being the first one hired, last one fired, moving up the ladder. So if everything was really totally equal, that's why some people is not really understanding or not trying to understand. So every time we put something on that's containing us, you will see the people who don't want to give up their heritage. But I don't mean money, I mean privilege. Like the ones who make them phone calls, like them Karens and them Beckys, and the one that was in the park and the man told her, "Oh, it's a black," Now when we equal, you can't do these things no more. So up until they're not trying to give up their heritage. Long as they want to keep their heritage.
But they don't have nothing. But anywho, they don't have nothing. But
they do have privilege. They
don't have nothing. They have it in their mind. They think that white privilege.
No, it's in reality too. It's a lot of black men. It's in the mind, but it's happening in reality. Anytime I can make a forced phone call, and that person get arrested, and not me for making a forced phone call, that's a privilege. That's a privilege when I can say whatever I want to say, and you're going to believe me.
You see what Donald Trump did, right? You see what Donald Trump did, right?
If it wasn't for cell phones, wasn't for things being taped.
Yep.
So that they may not have it. Like I say, to me, privilege is life or death. And if I know that if I'm privileged that I can live longer than you because I can get you set up at any point in time, that's worth more than money. Because the 1% ain't giving up that money anyway. They ain't giving up none of that power. They ain't giving up none of them, nothing that they stole from Africa. They ain't giving up none of the gold, none of the diamonds, none of the precious things they stole from Africa. They're not giving none of that up.
Our mothers and our generation, my generation will have to be wiped out in order for the supremacy stuff to stop. Because it is a learned behavior. It's learned behavior. There's no other way. They pass it down. They learn it. They learn it
because it's been passed down. So if I'm giving you this heritage, And I'm teaching you, of course, just like if you giving a kid $1 million, and each kid you giving $1 million, and one other kid can't get nothing. I'm like, listen, we supposed to. It would be nice if we split the money, but I'm not giving up my $1 million. That's just how, and I'm not speaking upon it as an example. So they're not willing to give up their heritage. Their heritage is the white privilege.
And you know how they do it?
Okay.
They whitewash their education, just like the two women that got caught, Lori something, whatever. They got caught letting the other people take their kids' SAT scores to get them into the college. You know, come on now. And let me tell you about the colleges, Lady B. Trump, every time you see Trump with a bunch of black people in his oval, those people are from colleges.
Okay, Tina Bina.
HBC colleges. And they said they come every year to Trump to get money for their colleges. So Trump said, how come you guys have to come here every year? You know, we have a good time and, you know, I give you right off the paper, write you guys a check. How come you have to come every year? They said, because we don't have the money. So Trump says, okay, I'm going to give you 10 years worth of money for your colleges. Now, he did that saying that, oh, don't say I don't help black people. I gave 20 black historical colleges enough money for 10 years to run their schools. But at the same time, most of the black colleges have more white students in it than black.
All right, Tina Bina. Hold on, I'm going to address two things. This Sugar Love, Ms. Ryder died. Did George Floyd drop out of 3 different colleges? It doesn't matter if he dropped out of 10.
No,
it doesn't matter. All right, now the second one. Tina Bina says, I am Puerto Rican and my husband is black. We raise our kids to love everyone, and now they tell me, why would they kill us, mommy? I don't know how to talk to them about this. Well, you have to remember that Puerto Rican is not a race. It's not a nationality. It's a land of Puerto Rico. So Puerto Ricans are black. You got some that's more of the Spaniard. Remember when Spain and British went to rob these different islands, y'all were once black and Indian. When Spain and Europe came, that's how, remember, Spanish is no more your native tongue than English is my native tongue. We've both been robbed of our history. I guarantee you, if you go check your blockers, Puerto Rican is not going to come up. You'll see like Indian or West African, because a lot of us got some type of a blocker from West Africa. So you guys, we're all in the same boat. Y'all no different from us. We are the same. Our forefathers are from Africa. Your forefather is from Africa. It's just that when Spain, remember when you speak Spanish, you're not from Spain. So a lot of Hispanics have to realize that your forefathers come from America. The same way you got this one little island called Hispaniola. There's one little island that's called Hispaniola. That one little island has been divided because Spain and France was at war. So to stop the war, they split the island. One half of the island became Haiti. The other half of the island became the Dominican Republic.
Same landmass divided by a bridge.
But it took a war to separate them. So now they think that they are separated. One thing, because I speak Spanish and you speak broken French, they didn't realize before that they were one people. Now look how they treat each other. Yeah. Even in this land, I was watching a beautiful movie. is when they dropped the slaves off at, remember, they dropped the slaves off at the different islands of Argentina. And remember, they was calling them Negro and all types of
Peru,
degrading
all of them.
stuff.
Yeah.
But they was still, their native tongue had became Spanish, because Spain, you had the Spain raped a lot of you guys, and the ones to Spain raped the white ones, so they will be the white ones, and then they also raped the black ones. So a lot of Puerto Ricans, remember, Puerto Rican is not a nationality. It's not a nationality. People think they come up with, that's like people go like, what are you, black? Black is not a nationality. Even Ms. Ryan, like I said, this is another whole entire subject. We're gonna get into that later. But I just brought that up because she,
right.
I know
I was gonna bring up
Spanish. Right.
I was gonna bring up Haiti and DR as well. Because
right, so
Haiti won 3 wars. Haiti is free. Okay, Haiti is very free. And because Haiti has fought, they fought the French. They fight, you know. And because of them being fighters, you know, they have their own nation. Just like DR. DR has their own nation, but they're on the same landmass.
Yeah,
I had to learn that myself.
But look to the trick of that. They still paying France. Do you know they're still paying France? They bankrupt.
They're still paying. They're still paying them because this is what the white men do, right?
They lost the war on purpose, if you ask me.
This is what the white men do. Like, say we're gonna say there's two countries, right? Say is America is fighting with, say North America is fighting with South America, right? The white man is going to support both of them. He don't care. He's making double money. He's 1%. Making double money.
Yeah. Like, I don't care
a lot of them did leave and go to Bermuda. They all spread out a lot, but you know they kept true to they culture. B lady, they kept true to their culture. You know, like a lot of black people, we don't know our own culture because our culture was stripped from us. You know, like if a lot of black people only speak one language because we speak the language of the queen. You see what I'm saying? And the queen who still runs the United States, don't get it twisted. The queen still runs the United States. I mean, how you got a pope running?
Well, the queen still gets ran by the pope. We're still on the road. My daughter-in-law is from Colombia. We have visit. So you got to remember, a lot of them being at Spain, a lot of white Europeans mixed with the Spaniards. So they would be the white Spaniards. And then you got the ones that were the slaves that was there got raped by the Spaniards too. So a lot of Spaniard people, even though a lot of them, when you check their blockers, their forefathers is from Africa. You do got some that's white and Spanish, but they're not fully white. They're white in Spanish or they're white and black. They're either or. They're either Spanish and our brother-in-law is from Brazil. Oh, that's what a lot of, I think that was the first stop. The first stop was Brazil.
And also,
there's even the Mexicans. They still.
A lot of people didn't know that that Irish people are really black people until they changed the color. See, this is what's going on in the world today. Okay, they going and they going into territories where there's all black people, and they mixing the white people in them to change the color. Like okay, I'll give you an example. Parts of Africa today is being invaded by the Chinese, and they are mating with the women.
They sold their people out, like they sold us out.
Yeah, they mating with the black people, the Africans, and now you have Chinese African. Okay, so now you know if it's the male, if the man is Chinese and the woman is African, the baby is Chinese. So they're mating, just like they did with Jamaica. They told Jamaica, "Oh, we're gonna put money into your country, in your island or whatever. We're gonna put money into you, and we're gonna bring jobs, and
Yeah,
we're gonna build all this stuff there." You know what they did? They gave
yeah.
maybe a thousand of the people jobs, brought in
Mhm.
100,000 of their people,
And they
and
own
took
it
over
now.
Jamaica. Took
They
over
took over
Jamaica.
Tiny, them trying and they trying to get Africa. But them Africans are stepping up though. Them Africans started stepping up because other remember Africa is what they call it, but it's a bunch of different nations. So a bunch of them different nations, or what you call them, the group of people, them
Tribes.
tribes, them tribes started coming together, honey. They like, no, we ain't going for it. You got to go. You got to go. But like I said, a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, and especially Dominicans, now they were all black. They were Dominicans. See what it is? They started mixing with us. They tried because they
Since
wanted to
slavery.
say
They mixed with us
no.
since slavery also.
No, I'm saying why. They started mixing with us to save their race because of our melanin. The
Right.
melanin. So if they can have our melanin, even if the colors start getting lighter, some melanin is still in them because they couldn't produce babies the way we was producing babies, and they cannot stay out in that sun. That's why they have to stay out in the cold. But if we start if we start getting the melanin for one person, but then we're just like a lot of Spaniard people, for instance. Y'all
Foot
might
soldier,
be
you're gonna get me
really
in trouble,
light.
foot soldier. Don't
Y'all
start,
might,
foot soldier. You get
Sugar,
me in
do you
trouble.
believe, Sugar, do
Foot
you
soldier.
believe the story that Princess Diana told her friends before she died that she wasn't the queen? Girl, that's another whole, that's like, ooh, I ain't touching that one right now.
I researched her too, foot soldier,
And
and she's
we're
about a
not,
thousand years old. She's about a
we're
thousand years old, something like
not
that.
going to touch. I'm not going to touch that one right now. We will get back to that. We will get back, Miss Rod. Please, we will get back to that. But um, a lot of Spaniards may be light because they wanted you to get lighter. But y'all have, if you have melanin in your skin, why do you think a lot of Spanish people in a tropical islands? Remember, the Europeans wasn't there. So if y'all in the tropical islands with all of that sun and did not burn, you know you have melanin in your skin. I mean, in your DNA. If you're from Europe, you didn't see the Europeans in none of these islands. I don't know the misconception that y'all think that y'all white or y'all Puerto Rican. No, if y'all in the tropical islands and y'all not getting skin cancer and getting burnt and getting blisters, then you know melanin is in your DNA. You know it's some black up in you. That's why I say, to answer that question, can you stay in that sun? If you stay in that sun, honey, heck, my husband burns it on a cloudy day. Yeah, but but a majority of them don't understand that. And I always go, you said you got melanin. If you got melanin, then hey, you know what you are.
The question is, that B lady asked was, she asked, someone who just came from back from Africa said it was racist, and oh yeah, Africans are taking the white farmers' land in South Africa. Now I'm gonna tell you about that.
I
From what
can't
I
see the
researched,
question yet.
right? From what I researched on that, B lady, I saw it on the news and I saw it in the African news or whatever. The white people. Now I don't understand this. How is the white people suing certain countries in Africa because they lost their land? I'm like,
It's about the South Africans
yeah, I'm like,
when
the land was never
they tell them they
yours.
had to.
It's about they suing all.
Oh God.
They lost their land. They took our land from us, our farming
Oh
land.
goodness.
That land was never
Oh Lordy.
yours.
Oh Lordy.
First of all,
Oh
one
Lordy.
thing we all have to establish, and once you get this concept, you will begin to understand a little better. Okay. Now, God, whoever you call him, you call him whatever you call him. I'm just going to keep it simple and say God, the creator. The creator put this earth together for us as a civilization to give us everything that we need: water, air, food, everything we need to survive on earth. God has given us for
Yes.
free of charge. So who the hell is you to charge people for land that God has created that we walk upon? I get so upset when I see that I have to pay for water. I almost got a fine in Texas because I was catching water in a container. You know, no, it's
Oh, they
illegal to
do. Oh,
catch
yeah.
rainwater.
And if
It's
you
illegal.
grow, is it true? Like I heard, like if you live in certain states, even not too much in New York, but if you grow too, like if you grow too much fruits and vegetables, you get a fine too.
Yes, you have to
You only
have.
can grow a certain amount.
You can only grow enough for your family. You can't give it away. You know, you got to be giving it away on the low or whatever. So Africa's run out of water. No, they're surrounded by ocean. You know, so yes, here in Florida. Yeah, in Florida, you know, I didn't understand a lot of these rules until I had to actually look them up. And the part that gets me is that they sitting up there and they hold a whole Congress with the nations fighting over land that was never
I gotta
yours.
mute my mic so Miss Rod and whoever else, I have a phone call.
Okay. So they're trying to take, yes, foot soldier, they've been stealing natural resources. They have little children
Hello,
in Africa.
which one?
You gotta mute your phone. They have little children in Africa diving 500 feet below the surface to get cobalt. To get cobalt. And they got a lot of them little children doing it. They're not paying them, they starving them. They digging into the earth, 500 feet into the earth to get cobalt. And what cobalt is a resource that does the cell phones and the electronic stuff. This is what them Chinese people over there doing. Yeah, you can only grow enough for your family. You can't grow enough to like sell, because they have the farmers market locked down. Now you think about it. All these white farmers that we have today, who taught them how to be farmers? The black people, okay? Black people taught them how to be farmers. Black people taught them all their skilled trades. That's why sometimes I get confused. When I say I get confused because I'm like, when was we ever okay? So you bombed up Tulsa, Oklahoma. You snatched us out of our homeland. You beat us. You raped us. You looted and pillaged all of our resources. You know, and then you turn around and you say, "Oh, but y'all didn't do nothing." So by y'all being black people, being peaceful people, we did not come out the gate knowing how to steal and rob and sell drugs. I don't know not one person that owned a Target. I don't know not one person that owned a poppy field. I don't know not one person that owned a plane. How do you think the drugs are coming into the country? It's coming in through Congress. It's coming in through the CIA. It's coming in through the feds. It's coming in through the president. I don't care. It's not coming in through black people. And then you talk about, oh, Cuba. Stop it. How do you think it got Cuba? I would tell you guys to check out a couple of movies. One of the movies is called The Banker. It has Samuel L. Jackson in it. And it tells a great story. You will love it. It's not a long movie. You will love it. It's fast. Of course, you're the military. You think it's all bodies in them caskets? Man, United States has done us all so dirty. Has done us all so dirty. And it's like, I don't want to. I don't want to sing anymore. I don't want to sing. Like I tell people, I will die on my feet before I die on my knees. you know, I'm going to die on my feet. Everybody need to get up off their knees. Praying works. Okay, pray on your feet. The movie Native American Made is a true story. I'm gonna check it out. I could check that out. But I'm talking about movies that I've seen, and the banker is showing you how these two black men took over a white bank. It is great. You know, all the racism. And then when I got to Texas, it's a good movie. It's called The Bankers. And you know, I've seen a lot of movies, and these movies are like telling me bits and pieces of actually how things really are. I don't know if you guys ever seen Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm a Hidden Colors fan. I bought them for my children. I'm gonna tell a lot of people to buy the book called Powernomics. People, we have to read. We have to read. I mean, like before I moved to Texas, my credit score wasn't all that. I was one of those, need a fancy car, fancy clothes, fancy this, fancy that, jewelry, da 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 da. All that didn't mean nothing because now I needed to start. I opened my eyes to start thinking of long term. And I said, well, okay, if I want to buy a house, what do I have to do? Get my credit in order. Get my credit in order. Stop purchasing using credit cards. Get my credit score up. Okay? Read a book. I read so many books about credit score. I didn't pay nobody to get my credit score up. I grinded it out and got it up myself. Okay? I didn't know nothing about buying a house. I looked and researched and watched videos and all kinds of stuff and looked at real estate. I should have my real estate license. I've seen so many houses. Oh, you got that book? Great, great. Yeah, I believe it, Lady B. I believe it. B Lady, I believe it. Because see, another thing is how they will go to these small cities and drop guns on the corners in the hood so they could kill each other. I don't know not one black person that know how to make a gun, how to sell guns. These guns, I'm telling you, the America, she is the devil. Okay, America, United States of America is the devil, and this devil got to go. This devil got to go. When I get back on my live, I'm gonna show you guys some of the books that I read, and some of the things that I do to educate myself. You know, and I apply it. I apply it, and I apply it to my children. I told my son, you need to be 25. You got from 25 to 30 to buy a house. Bought a beautiful house. Have a wife. Just had a kid. I'm glad I listened to my mom. Glad I listened to my mom. Gave him a plan. We got to have plans. We have to have plans for our family. You know? And it starts with togetherness, talking, and coming up with the plan. You know? That's how it has to start. You know? And we have to talk. That's why I said once we get on code, you know, I ain't gonna front. Every time I go to vote for somebody I don't like, the lessons of the two evils, I write my name in there. I write my own name. I ain't got time. If I ain't voting for the mayor or the governor, I'm voting for me. Because I'm tired of voting for the lesser of the two evils. I'm seriously tired. Oh, is it gonna be Hillary or is it gonna be Trump? Republican or Democrats? Think about it. Democrats is made up of Republican rejects. Why are the Republicans so rich and the Democrats are so poor? They're Republican rejects that become the Democrats. And oh, we're just so happy. We're just so happy, boss, that we can go vote. Our ancestors died for a vote. Come on now. You got to find out the truth of what really happened. The truth about what really happened. So now you want us to vote for Trump, who is racist, and we know he is, or Biden, who's an undercover racist, and we know he is. If I see Biden commercial one more time, and I told him, stop emailing me. Don't email me no more. I told Trump, stop emailing me. I don't go on my Twitter no more because Trump was all over the Twitter. I've been trying to delete Trump for about 6 years. Still can't get him off my Twitter. I just closed the Twitter completely. I ain't gonna bother. I don't want to see nothing he say or nothing. Can't block him, nothing. I had to make a whole new Twitter account to get away from him. But that really exhausted me tonight for sure. Because I wasn't feeling well. I had to take some medicine to get back on one point. But we just want to be able to live together. Black, white, green, yellow, orange, purple. I don't care. Treat people the way you want people to treat you. Treat us the way you want us to treat you. I want to treat everybody with love and respect and honor. And honor. Because America, she's a lying whore. She has lied to the people so much to where she is dirty. She is filthy. I was like, oh, I'm American. I'm ashamed to be American. I'm ashamed the way America treat my people. How America treat people who we're not less than. See, B lady, they fear us because, like Sugar said, in our bodies, we hold the key to life. We hold the key to life. And every black woman, and I'm going to tell you, black women don't acceptably mean you're not Spanish, Asian, or whatever, African American, Spanish, Hispanics, whatever culture you have, if you have one drop of black blood in you, you can rebuild. You can rebuild. If you go back to the Bible, God created Adam and Eve, right? Okay. So now, Adam and Eve have a baby, has 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel, right? Where the wives come from? Where do they wives come from? Did Eve sleep with her sons and have kids with them? Come on now. Eve supplied the whole entire nation. This is what they want us to believe. It's in the Bible. Where did they wives come from? Okay, so look. Okay, give you another story. Noah had his 3 sons and one girl that they picked up. Okay, and she had a baby, and he thought that their lives was going to die with him, his wife, and his 3 sons. Now, do you want us to believe that the sons had sex with their mother to repopulate the earth? Oh, man. This is what I'm saying about the lies and deceit. Many times I've read the Bible over and over and over and over and over again. I think I'm going to say this before Sugar get back on here. I think most of the men that wrote the Bible, they was bipolar. They was schizophrenics. They was crazy. I think most of them was crazy because the stories that they tell them make you say, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people?
Oh Lord, don't start with my biblical Bible now.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
But that's what I'm saying.
It was not bipolar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They was not bipolar.
Yeah, but the only thing that we holding God's promise to is that God said He will not destroy the earth again. He destroyed it by fire first, and He destroyed it by water. So now, since we holding God to His promise that He would not destroy the earth again, but the people are. See what I'm saying? Do you not know that there are
Mm-hmm.
seven countries that have nuclear bombs? Only seven that have nuclear bombs. Why would you need such a powerful bomb? Why would you make such a thing? No, it was destroyed by fire before, B lady. Now, now I see another thing. See, this is where the lives get crossed between science and the word. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
the dinosaurs got killed by the meteors. That's the fire. See, this is what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
believe in
This is
dinosaurs.
between science and the Bible. Okay. Now, the Bible clearly states that the world is flat. The Bible states that. In the Bible,
No, the Bible don't say
girl,
that.
I will not fight with you today. The Bible states that the
Nope.
world is flat. The Bible states.
Well,
The Bible
I
states.
don't really think. I don't think it matters actually.
Well, the Bible states that the earth will not move. It will not move. It is
The,
stable. It will not move. So that's what he said. So
but that
a
well,
ball is gonna move. Earth flat is gonna flat. That's what's the
I
other
mean,
states.
no, it doesn't make me any matter. But I mean, I don't do flat. I'm not a flat earther, and I'm not a rounder,
You don't have to be a flat earth
and
or a rounder.
I'm not a rounder. But
You don't have to be a flat earth or a rounder. You don't exactly, be lady. It's stable. Stable means still. Stable means still. Let me tell you. See, this is why I
the
don't like
earth
coming on
don't move.
panels. That's why I like coming on panels because you know everybody have their they have their own opinions, right?
I don't
And
even have an opinion on that because I just never.
yeah, but I'm getting
I,
ready to tell you how we dropped the ball. I'm getting ready to tell you how we dropped the ball. We
okay, go
dropped the
ahead.
ball by listening to those who are trying to deceive us. Okay? All the history books are deceiving. That's why did anybody notice how black history was no longer in school? Then they turned around and took God out of school. Then they turned around and took skilled trades out of school. This is a design
Well,
plan to keep people illiterate.
well, first of all, before we even got to the school, I mean, if you want to talk about being deceived, that's why I said this could be a whole new subject. But I'm just going to leave it there. Miss Ryder is such on the road. My girl put in a whole hour and a half. I know you're not feeling well,
2
but
hours.
it was 2 hours. Oh damn, 2 hours. Yes, she have. And this whole chat, I appreciate. I'm not turning off. I'm just appreciate. I have to acknowledge my chat people for enjoying this conversation, all this good education. I mean, and I just really super duper appreciate Miss Ride knowing that she's not feeling so good to drop all this information on us. I just wanted to just say thank you so much. I'm not tuning off, but if you're gonna get, this is gonna be another subject maybe for tomorrow or next Friday. Remember, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays is panel. Monday through Thursday is Grow Channel. The first lie that we believe, and that was because anytime when we had that white Jesus, that's when we dropped the ball. When we kneeled down, when we went to these black churches, and we had put these white Jesus in them black churches, and we put the white Jesus in our house, and we bowing down to we knowing that Jesus is black. That is you can't deceive no more than that. So everything comes after that, but that's another whole
That's the illusion. That is the illusion.
I want to keep these panels going. I don't want to give them too much of your mind, Miss Rod, because you be
my mind is endless because I fill it with knowledge. Like I tell people, I have a doctor's degree. I have a science degree. You know, I got a human being degree. All these degrees that I have may not be on paper, but I learn and I read and I research. So
So
my doctor
she,
can't tell me nothing. Just tell me what I said is right, and so we can take care of
oh
it.
Lord, oh Lord. So in schools, kids began making fun of black kids. It's like I said, that's another that's another subject because we don't know who we are. Being that we don't know who we are, in in white kids' mind, they saw us as unequal because that's their inheritance and like an animal. That's because that's what they labeled us as an animal. When Ms. Ryan came down to New York, she seen some of it, because then she dozed off on me. I showed her a real old movie that was in 1972. It was called Uncle Tom something. And when
Uncle
I
Tom's
mean,
Cabin.
remember when I had you watching and how they had us just, they fed us like we was cattle.
Yeah.
They the things that they did to us. And if you was 13 years old and you was still a virgin, you got crucified for that. Not literally crucified, but you got crucified because you were supposed to have been with one of the rich, with one of your masters by now, and you was really in trouble. They didn't want the virgin. These are 13-year-olds. But do you know that we're taking about taking one nation under God? First of all, it's not one nation. One nation should not have been there anyway. It's not one nation. They would like for it to be one nation. That's why I said we are going to have to get to that subject, and then we're going to have to pull out some scripture. You can't really talk about, I like
Yeah, a
to have
while ago.
scripture. Yeah, I like to have a little scripture. Here, you know what? This is ridiculous. Y'all know what's going on, right? They started a little bit late. I thought I was gonna be able to sleep tonight, but that's not gonna happen. But y'all hear all these fire. It's been a whole month of firecrackers. So I'm thinking it's late. They wasn't gonna do it, but they sure enough fooled me. Boom, 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 boom. But they put
Girl.
this. But when black people realize that they are the chosen people and they know who they are, and not black people, because now I'm sounding terrible. When the blacks that was sold and dropped off at these different islands, that's why we have to come together. When we see our Puerto Ricans, I always call a Puerto Rican my sister, my brother, because they don't understand. We got the same forefathers. When I see Spanish, I see my Mexican people. I never see them as, can you Spanish, you this, you this, you know. You got melanin in your skin.
When I see Indians, I see them as my brothers and sisters.
The Indians were still black people. They have melanin in their skin also. Second of all, there's really no such thing as an Indian. Where does Indian come from? Did they call themselves Indians? The same way you'll go West Indian. So now we Indians.
Those are the Indians from the West.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the Bible is God's word, good, bad, or otherwise. Exactly. It's the word. But okay. So then why would you believe some of the things in the Bible to be true? I believe
exactly.
You have to remember, Jesus said, somebody asked Jesus a question. Jesus said, I speak in parables. He said, the Bible is a parable. He said, if you're my people, you'll get it. You'll understand. If you're not my people, then you will not understand. So some people, if you his people, we adopted one half there. Yeah.
And B-Lady, it's important for you to teach that American Mohawk his history. It's important that you learn and you research his history to teach them. Because before,
the history still goes back to Africa. When they came here to America, we already have the blacks here, and they were Indian. They had brought that Israel heritage with them. They spoke Hebrew. They had them the pamphlets. I mean, not the pamphlets. They had them the stones of them 10 commandments, because everybody had gotten them to get them stone pamphlets. You had to come from Israel or that part of Africa. So they are just as black as us. But they have mixed us up and all around so much. When they sold us, we don't want to keep thinking that we're separate. We are the same. That is the only way. That is the only way. God said in that Bible, when we was running away, and half of us went into Judah and Israel and Judah ran away. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom split because Rome was coming in. We just got out of slavery. Now we're getting back in slavery. So Judah and Israel split.
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever research on who King James was?
King James is a black man. Yes, I have. He's not
King
the
James?
white. He is not the white gay man that he is not the white gay man that he is. Them are that is, you got to spend money to get them books with the real King James.
Right, because I'm about to say the King James version that everybody got.
Homosexual, no. And only thing he did was translate the book. He didn't write the book. He translated it.
So somebody got some bad translation going on.
But
that's what's wrong with the Bible. The Bible is lost in translation.
No, the Bible is in parables. Jesus said, I will pull out the scripture next time. Oh, it's in my book. He said, if you are my people, you will understand. And that's why every time Jesus spoke to somebody, never spoke to them direct. He spoke to them in parables. And he said, once, if you my people, you would know how, within that Bible is precept upon precept. Once you start reading the Bible, when I started reading the Bible, I understood. Oh, so when they was talking about this one, when I was reading about this, like in the beginning, these two go together. The Bible is like a puzzle. It's a puzzle and it's parable. So even the guy was like, why you?
It's a riddle.
But once you read the Bible itself and you read it in full, you will understand. You got to bring the King James 1800.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit intercepts the Bible for you. Well, yes, and yes. That's just like, oh my God, I'm gonna get off the Bible, but I'm just gonna say.
Because I'm ready to get on the Quran and get on the Jehovah's Witness Bible.
The Quran came from out of the Bible. The Quran came from the Bible. They just made Muhammad God, but the Bible pre-exists the Quran.
And you know what pre-exists the Bible?
What?
Ancient Egypt.
No, ancient Egypt does not.
Yes.
No, it does not. Ancient Egypt, remember, they all came from Egypt. They all came from the kids of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham is what if you read your Bible, Ham will be the region of Africa, what they call Africa. Shem would be the region of half of Africa and a part of Asia. Japheth kids will be in Europe. That's the Europe part. So they all existed at the same time. It's just that the Bible. It's just that the Bible was given to the Israel, to the people in Israel. The people in Egypt was doing their own thing, writing their stuff on the walls and stuff like that.
I want everybody to look at Sugar Love right now when I ask her this question.
What?
Everybody look at Sugar Love when I ask this question.
And don't make me pull out my scriptures, neither.
The question is, do you believe in science or do you believe in the Bible?
I believe in the Bible.
Okay.
I believe because science is in the Bible. Because God spoke upon. That's just like
God created heaven and earth.
Yes. If God created it, just like God told you what herbs to eat.
But yet the white man said the earth suffered a hit from a meteor, planets, and caused the Big Bang. So what theory are we to believe? See, this is where you have the left side fighting with the right side and the whole body.
Well, okay. Everybody has their right to. I believe in the Bible because I know for a fact that if all this Big Bang happened, ain't no more Big Bangs. Ain't no more Big Bangs. What happened to them? Same way they said that heck, Sugar Love believe in God, and so
thank you, B lady. Exactly. Ego. I believe in God. I believe in God and the Creator. You know, I and then we get on our knees and we say, God, why is this happening to our people? What did we do to deserve this?
Because it's in the Bible.
God, it's kill. God, don't hurt nobody. Just get rid of them. Put them on. Put them on. I be like,
that's what Jesus is coming back to do. That's what Jesus is coming back to do.
Could you put them all back in Europe and let them float away into the stratosphere somewhere?
That's not their fault. We disobey God.
No. I'm not doing that. No. I'm not doing that. No.
The scripture backs it. The scripture. Okay, you show me where the scripture backs what you're saying. I will show you what the scripture backs what I'm saying. I got scriptures, and I got them on deck right here, right now. I keep it loaded.
I know you do. I know you do, but I'm just saying, like
scripture do not lie. I don't go by my emotions and my feelings. I go by what that book says.
A man wrote the scriptures. A man wrote it. A man. And what happened to all the books that the women wrote?
Okay, but if a man wrote it, and if a man wrote it, which we don't have enough time. But if he wrote it, okay, he was told the story. Is the man who wrote it, you call him a liar? It said, if I'm telling you the story, I'm telling you to write the story. But if a man wrote it and everything that man said happens to be true, if nobody don't believe in scripture, but if what that man wrote is true, and I can see what he's saying is true, the same way, for example, when God said to tell the man, he said to the man, do not cut your beard, that's your mane. He said that to the people of Israel. What happens if what I go by what is true, it's still true today. When a black man cut his beard, what is his punishment? A bunch of bumps and stuff on his face and growing hair. So it's what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't, even though things could be falsified, I'm not saying that things is not falsified.
And you know why the Jews cut their beard? You know why they cut it?
No, they're not. You mean the Jewish people, not the
Jews. Jewish.
There's two different things.
Orthodox. They got so many tribes in themselves.
Two different things. Ish means sort of, kinda. Jew is a Jew.
I'm not going to even talk about Jews. I'm going to say the white man, okay?
Okay.
They all colorfuls. The white man cuts his beard because through his beard shows his blackness. Okay, shows that
No, he
he
cut
is.
his
Yeah.
beard
Yes, it is
because they
because it
like
is
little
coarse.
boys.
Because
Because
the
they
hair
like
on their
little
chin,
boys.
because the hair on their chin grows coarsely as our hair grows.
They cut their
It doesn't
beard
grow
because
straight. How many
they
white
cut.
men do you see with a straight beard?
It makes
And
you
I'm gonna
look
tell you
like
my
a
favorite
boy.
people, my favorite guys who I learned this from when I became fans of theirs is ZZ Top. Okay,
The Romans cut their beards because it was about little boys, and that's what. Remember, God said it brings out your manhood. So if you cut in your beard, you don't want to be considered a man. You want that boy look. That's why you cut your beard. They always say, "Oh, you look so much younger." That's
it's a lie.
pedophilia.
You lying to them.
They're not
Pedophilia.
lying. That's the honest truth. Look at them. That's what happened in Rome, and they got that from Egypt. Because Egypt was out there doing the things they ain't had no business doing in Rome.
No, the
God
Romans.
said, do not follow. Even though if they got a reason or not, God said, do not follow them in their ways.
The Romans, they up there having sex with each other, having sex with little boys, and all that going on.
Don't get me no copyright strike. La 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 la
Hey,
la
babe.
la la. She said, "Hey, baby, we need to hear all that." Oh, we're gonna have this conversation. I stay locked and loaded, baby. I stay locked and loaded. But that would definitely be Miss Ryder died. Daughter got her beard straightener. You said you can trim your beard. See, this is the thing. You don't have to have your beard long. But God said that is your main. That is your main. I'm going to tell you what verse that is in. Right now. I'm going to tell you. I think it's I know it's in Leviticus. I know it's in Leviticus. But that is your main. The same way the Sabbath is the Sabbath is on Saturday. Like I said, people better get into their Bibles. They better stop listening to people preach and start reading. But that would be another subject. But I believe we dropped the ball because we never had the ball. Let's get back. Y'all guys are phenomenal. Y'all spent all this time here. I just thank you guys so much. But you guys are phenomenal, and I love these panels. I cannot wait till we do some more. But that's in Leviticus. Ay, ay, ay. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. But like I said, we dropped the ball because we never had the ball. We got the ball that was given to us. So we never, each generation has the ball with no rules and regulations. So that's why all these things that we keep constantly talking about now is not getting done because it's not built in our system. It's not built in our system. So hope I'm waiting for Ms. Rod to come in so I can close out. I really enjoyed this panel. I hope you guys come back again. I'll see. I know I done used up all my time for StreamYard, all my time. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Firecrackers. And another thing I want to talk about, the male and female relationship. I'm sick of this blame game. I'm sick of this blame game. The woman this, the woman that, the man this, the man that. How about just everybody check yourself? Don't check me. I ain't gonna check you. Everybody check themselves. They've been doing this for a month. This is nothing. Big lady, this is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing compared to what you hear every night. Sometimes it's way worse than this. Way worse. But you guys been a great audience. I appreciate you, Foot Soldier. I appreciate you, B Lady. I want to do something probably next Friday. It's gonna be a Friday panel. I'm gonna do a video. Oh, thank you guys for supporting my Brooklyn Does It Better channel. If you don't have Brooklyn Does It Better, B Lady, check out my Brooklyn Does It Better channel. Check out my Brooklyn Does It Better, baby. That's my reaction channel, my lyric reaction channel. My lyric reaction channel. Check it out. Give me some opinions on it. I can't I don't drop links and stuff on panel night. It's just that I'm waiting for Ms. Rod to come back so I can thank her again. And I want to thank the Underrated Darkness for giving us a little bit. I'm still going to do a part 2 to this. I'm going to try to get the information man. I'm going to try to get the information man to come on. Try to get some more people to come on this show. So I'm trying to build it up enough where we can get more influential people besides us, because we influential too. And I just want to sit on back and let you guys do that. And I'm glad that, like I said, I'd rather have the 10, 12 people in here. We're enjoying, we learning. As you see, there is no hate in here. It's all love. It's all love. We just speaking upon our people and our oppression and what we're going through. We cannot slip it under the rug. They are celebrating something that doesn't benefit us, not in the least bit. They wasting it. They're not celebrating. They just doing this to drive us all crazy. I'm telling you, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. Before my everything start going dead. Before you know it, my everything be dead. Has anybody tried Zoom? That's what I'm talking about, big lady. Has anybody tried Zoom? Because I don't want to have to pay for StreamYard. No. I'm gonna get me a little green. I was gonna get me a green screen, but I'm like, but I'm gonna have to end up getting one. Maybe somebody get me one for my birthday. It's been at least a month over here with the fight. That's what I'm saying. It's been a month over here too. Over a damn month. I'm like, what the hell? Who buying y'all all these damn firecrackers? It's crazy. It's crazy. But what I do know is us adults, When we speak upon youth, we got to speak upon the youth. We cannot be like, separate the man, the woman, the man. It's only a woman and a man. You got it. You can't even speak it, and then you can't be a man just talking about a woman, or a woman just talking about a man, because it takes two to tangle. You know, and I don't know. I don't like to play the blame game, because I have not, yeah, honey, I have not walked in nobody's shoes. I do not know what happened to nobody to got them to be where they at today. So I try not to judge. You know, hopefully I pray they get some knowledge. But if they enjoying their life, they enjoying their life. I mean, I may not indulge in it, but long as you respect me, I respect you. Now, if you want to act all belligerent, that's on you. But if you respect me, I respect you. They still human beings too. They still children of God too. They still are human beings. They just don't know what to do. Remember, we never got healed from that wound from slavery. So we're going to have a lot of mishaps. Everybody's never going to be on the same page. I don't care what nation you're from, unless you're the 1%. The 1% on the same page. They ain't giving up that money. That's it. They ain't giving up that money. Ms. Rob, we're going to close out. But if anybody else like to come on here, but I want to try to get the information man on. I want to do a part 2 to did we drop the ball. I want some good information going down. And my peoples came out. They came out today. Woo, woo, woo. Well, either way, guys, I'm closing out because we're already 3-something hours in. All right, Ms. Rod, we're closing out. We're closing out. Thank you guys so much for being here. I might do a grow. I might not do a panel because I know I don't have no more time. But I might do my coffee run in the morning. I do my coffee run in the morning, and then sugar love. That will be nice. I'm going to bed now. See you soon. Yes, I do my coffee run in the morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. You guys rock. And if you guys get any additional information, you don't have to come on a panel. Just keep typing. Just keep typing in the chat the way you have been. That's what makes a great show. Even if you don't want to come on a panel, just type in the chat. That helps the chat move along, and this is how we communicate. Thanks for coming, Ms. Rada Dodd. Thank you so much for taking time out your night. Get some rest. Keep feeling better. Thank you, guys. Peace. Oh, you can't come? Well, I see you later on in the night. But my coffee gonna taste terrible, Foot Soldier. Thanks to you, my coffee gonna taste terrible. But it's so good. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I see you guys later. Peace.